What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to SpawnCast episode. Evan, what are we on? 87?
Nope, 88.
88.
The last one.
All right, I'll get it next week.
Double infinity.
Yes, there is a lot to go over this week, so we're gonna have to roll through fairly quickly here. But I am gonna introduce because Sean wants to be introduced first. Sean, thanks for joining us. That's RGT85. What's going on?
Let's make sure my cam comes on. What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy RGT, fresh off a World Star. You know, holla at me. Shout outs to the 910, the 212, the 203. All my boys holding it down. Soldier Boy, you want a piece of this? You know, come get it. We got the gold Casio watch. We're doing it big here. You know, Indiglow so I can shine on all my haters. You know, got the Neff glasses on. We're doing big things, baby. We're doing big things. We in the building.
It's because you get on World Star once.
I mean,
you were on World Star. I was
on World Star. That's
World
amazing.
Star changes a man.
It really does. It really does. I have to start living a little bit more lavish now.
I feel their comment section adequately described you. It was awesome.
I mean, there was a couple people that were okay. Like, you know, they were like, "Oh, he said Big L. You know, we got to give him a pass." But yeah, they a lot of them didn't like me.
Yeah, I mean, you look a little bit like a snitch. It's all right though.
It was dry snitching though. You know, I was trying to help him out. It wasn't legit snitch. It was just dry snitch.
That's what everyone in the comments was saying too. It was
It was bad, man. It was bad.
Oh man, how you been doing this week, Sean?
Good, man. Good. A lot of good games to play. A lot of fun news going on. It's been a good week.
It has been. And then we have OJ joining us. What's up, man?
I'm here and I am somehow awake after playing Smash Brothers for literally like since it's been out. I've been playing it and I have not went to sleep. So I'm awake.
We're good. It's not good.
So I'm here. I'm ready. Elite Smash unlocked it today. So it's been dope. It's been fun.
And then we got Evan. Evan's with us. Evan's been playing Smash as well after Nintendo provided a copy to him. So we have to put that out there, I guess, as a disclaimer. So yes, Evan, how you've been in?
Nintendo also provided me a copy too, but I bought like 15 copies. So
yep. I did buy a physical one. So I wanted it physically.
Gotta get that collector's edition, bro.
Yeah,
I have it. It's behind me.
Yeah.
And then we got Max. What's going on, Max?
Man, it has been a good week for gaming. Man, I'm sure we'll get into it, but I've played so much Smash. I've done a lot of reviews. I've played a lot of PUBG, but man, I'm so excited to hear everyone talk about Smash.
Yeah, it's been interesting. And then we have our two guests tonight. We have MVG, or Modern Vintage Gamer. How you doing, man?
Hey, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yes.
Yeah, I just got Smash like about 2 hours ago, guys. So I'm like way behind everyone else, but I'm psyched to get into it this weekend for sure.
You'll be hearing about it, I guess, on the podcast. So,
Sure.
And then we got Austin. Austin's been doing a lot of videos about Smash, actually. So he's right in the thick of things with that. How's it going?
Hey guys, how's everybody been? I was very excited for Smash, so I decided to come through and make sure that I have my Diet Dr. Pepper and we're ready to talk about Smash.
So you're on the Diet Dr. Pepper, and now Sean's off of Diet Dr. Pepper.
Oh, damn it. That's the only reason I got it.
It's been transferred.
Can we just talk about how everyone got their limited edition with their limited edition Pro controller and probably still using a GameCube controller?
I am using the GameCube controller. I have that wireless one from PowerA, which actually works pretty well. And then I have the regular ones, but I have not been using the. Is the D-pad better on that Pro controller?
I don't know. But as per your recommendation, I picked it up too. This thing is beautiful.
It's awesome, isn't it? I love this thing. Yeah. It is killer. It turns the Switch on too with the home button. So
It's very useful. I'm using the D-pad a lot on it. On the Switch Pro controller. Holy heck. Or sorry, the Smash Pro controller. Holy heck, I like it. But that's my first time ever using a Pro controller, so I don't have a lot of reference.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, because I have 3 Pro controllers. I gave one to Evan, but I got the special edition ones, and I keep getting them because apparently the D-pad keeps getting better, so I take them apart to check it out, and people are saying this one's better. So,
Can I ask a question? Like, who has because I have the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Pro controller, and this one, the D-pad's a little bit better, but I haven't, does anybody have this controller and the Smash controller and can say which one's, if it got better from this one? Because this one's better than the first one. I have the first one too.
I have the Xenoblade one. I have the first one, and I'm thinking about getting the Smash one. So if people want me to, I'll get it, and then I'll actually open it up and see if it's actually better.
Open it up, make it. See,
okay.
Yeah.
You'll get the money back. Don't worry.
Yeah. Do I have to? They just had them in stock at Best Buy. Is that where you can get them from, or GameStop? I guess.
They're. You know what? To be honest, I got mine with the special edition. The special edition one, that one's sold out everywhere. But I don't know about the regular one. I'm not sure. I did see a bunch of them at my Best Buy. There was at least about a good 20 of them, but there was like 15 of them people pre-ordered or whatever, and then like 20 that were just like sitting there. So
Okay. Yeah. I actually enjoy comparing those to check them out. But I got a pretty sweet box of retro stuff from GameStop that I still have to check out. So
Yeah, I'm interested to hear what you got there, man.
I
saw your tweets about it.
I'll say one thing. For some reason, the PlayStation 1 that I got has a GameStop refurbished sticker on it.
Wow.
So that's been sitting around forever.
That'll
I
be
bet
fun.
I bet there's a 4Y mod chip in there too.
Oh, if it's mod chip, that'd be so funny. But I don't know why they would need to work. It's like a $40. No, it's $35. I think on their website. I don't know why they would work on it. That makes no sense. It's weird, but that'll be a fun box to go through because I ordered some stuff. I ordered games that are pretty easy to get bootlegs of, like Pokemon and stuff. So we'll see if they're fake. That'll be good. But do you guys want to jump into the Smash Bros talk?
Yes.
Out of your introductions. So I've played 5 hours of it, and I do like it.
Smash.
But I also haven't played a lot of Smash since like Melee and the Wii, I guess. Wii version.
I've played about 40 hours, maybe 50 hours total after launch now. 40 hours before launch, 10 after it. I have to say, Smashdown is still my favorite mode by far. But now that I've tested the online, oh my god, do I love the online play so much.
I haven't played online with it yet. How are the experiences? Because some people on Twitter are saying it was still kind of laggy, and other people said they were fine. I don't know if that's based on connection, because I'm sure there are a lot of people who are playing without the LAN adapter.
Yeah, so I'm playing it without the LAN adapter and about probably 50 feet from my Wi-Fi connection, and it's still very solid. I definitely noticed the less people you have, it seems to run better no matter what. Every one-on-one I've ever had has been completely seamless, but it seems like the bigger the match, you do get more lag spikes. The amount of completely 100% lag-free 4-player matches are pretty rare, but it's great. Even the lag I had was very minimal.
Okay.
Yeah, I played for like an hour online today just to try it out, and I was surprised. I didn't have any issues, and the most of the things I ended up somehow playing were like 2v2s, and like it was fine. I didn't have any major issues, but I saw a lot of people were on Twitter, so I don't know. I guess it's kind of dependent. I'm also not using a LAN adapter. I'm just using a wireless connection, and it was fine.
I guess it also depends on what you're looking at, or how you play rather these types of games. Because I was watching a lot of the pros streaming it, and they were talking about mild lag issues that just buffer attacks and stuff, and it becomes kind of problematic. But maybe you don't notice it. I guess.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm casual
affect you as much.
Well,
I'm like, ooh, Simon Belmont, yay! I like this shit about.
I play with a lot of tournament level people, but I wouldn't consider myself one. Online, I was schooling everybody, but I was only playing Link, and Link is a relatively slow character anyway. So even if there was some input delay, I definitely couldn't tell.
Okay.
My play experience, I've played quite a bit online now. Was able to get to the Elite Smash and play. Most of the matches that I had were okay. Like I can tell maybe like a frame or two, kind of like Dragon Ball Fighters, right? Max, you know about Dragon Ball Fighters. It tells you a little count at the top. Like that's pretty much the best you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have that in Smash, but every single match is gonna be about a frame or two at the best. You know, it's never gonna be like completely offline, but it's gonna be minimal at the best connections to kind of not know, you know, like hey, it's fine. And then some of the matches you can tell that some people probably just have garbage internet, and I think that's just really what it comes down to is that some people have bad internet and still play online. It's just there's no way around it. The more people you add in, you're going to get more people. That's the higher chance that somebody's going to have a bad internet connection. And this happens in any fighting game. If you're playing Street Fighter, there's going to be lag. Or if there's, you know, back when I played Street Fighter 4, there was lag on people that have trash connections. You're going to have a bad match. I mean, or you get lucky and you get people that have good match or good connections. You have good matches. So that's kind of just how it is with most fighting games or, you know, titles out there. But I was enjoying it. I got to Elite Smash today. I was playing in Elite Smash a little bit, and the people there, some people there are absolute frauds. You know, they might get they get a win off you, then you're like, okay, well, rematch me. You rematch them, then you beat them, then they bounce. They don't even finish the set. So it's like it's just 1-1. They're so scared of losing their points, you know. So it was interesting though. It was fun. I like fun there.
Just so everyone knows, everyone on the panel tonight is down in the description. All their channels are linked down there, so you can check anyone out that you want to. Evan's Twitter is actually down there. But let me ask you guys: did you guys play World of Light? Or did you just go through and just unlock all the characters like through the different methods that are out there? Because I heard now apparently that you guys are saying a lot of them are patched now.
I played all of World of Light.
Yeah.
Okay.
The entire thing I'm at about 98% complete.
Okay, how many hours is in that to get tonight? It tells you hour count, doesn't it?
My play time is only 12 hours, but
Okay.
that doesn't include like running around and stuff.
Yes.
I have about 60 hours of footage.
Okay.
Between everything. Oh no, hang on. Once you go into World of Light, it tells you, right? What your play time is?
I think it does. Yeah, it tells you like a little like I'm just curious how long it takes to beat it.
I think it was 25 for me to get to the last boss, but you have to do a bunch of side routes and stuff to like unlock and other characters and stuff. If you want to do everything,
those fights are kind of annoying. Like there's one with
25 hours.
Yes. I'm at 62 hours for 89% completion.
Oh my god!
I beelined very much because I wanted to see how far I could get, A, and B, I was curious if the spirits. My main thing I wanted to test is if the spirits got more overpowered. So I very much, whenever I unlocked what I could tell was the main path, I was like, I ran down that way.
Some of those fights are kind of annoying. You were talking about that too, Sean, weren't you? Because
there
was one that I did early on. It was like strong winds.
Yes,
and your like buoyancy is like super like low or high. If you hit the water, you just die.
Well, you can get spirits that purposely negate that, and if you say auto configure, like there was like a time where I was fighting, it was like Samus and it was low gravity or something. You can equip a spirit that literally makes you immune to gravity effects. So it's cool, but it's also kind of the weird thing of like if you take the time to grind, like Austin probably is, and get all this side stuff, you can literally negate every single stage effect.
Also, the reason that you that match is locked behind high winds at such an early area is because that's for the spirit Cap'n, and Cap'n is used in the overworld throughout the entire thing anytime you want to do boat stuff, actually toward all the Street Fighter characters.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool.
Well, I beat it without Cap'n, so obviously I am a master tier Smash player.
World star.
Do you guys think it's going to replace Melee and the Wii U version at Evo next year, or do you think they're going to just stick with
the Wii U version's dead?
Oh no! You mean I don't to get that tablet and take it with me to the
The Wii U version died. The Wii U version died at Evo this past year after that display from those kids. Not to hate on the kids. The kids are great at the game, but after Evo, everyone just said that died there. Melee, it won't replace Melee, no, but it'll work coincide Melee.
Well, everyone had an issue because of Bayonetta, right? Am I thinking right?
Yes, the issue was Bayonetta. Yeah,
is Bayonetta better in this version of it?
No, she's worse.
I mean, like worse. Like it's really easy for her to just knock people out still, or
she's just her. There's a lot of they call it like lag across, like frame delay and like lag across her moveset. She just doesn't have the type of combos you can get at things. Like you can't get comboed as easier with her. She's just not as good, just like as she was before.
Okay. Oh, she's more fair now, is what I'm trying to get at. Like,
she's
they might have nerfed her maybe a little too much from what she was, but I mean, I think it's definitely more fair. It's more fair than what it was. But like, there's so many people still need to kind of explore. There's so many different matchups because the meta is still developing. There's like 70 something characters, but yeah, she's definitely not as good. Like also like when like her witch time has been completely like destroyed. Like it's nowhere near as much. You can't like before you used to be able to like pretty much charge one of her full like smash and like get a smash attack. Like when you get witch time, that's been completely taken out. So
go ahead, Max.
I was gonna say, OJ, I've seen a bunch of people in the Smash community. I've been trying to go in there and see what they're thinking about this, and I've seen a bunch of people speculating that Joker is gonna end up being the new Bayonetta, like the crazy overpowered DLC character.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely possible. A lot of the Smash community, because like I follow a lot of the guys on Twitter and everything, and there are a lot of them are saying that like they're like, but the funny thing is like they're like we want it to be that. Some of them are being like really trollish. They're like overpowered broken characters, so we can kind of like destroy it in tournament because the stakes for this Smash Brothers game is going to be really high. Like the pools are going to be big, like people are going to be going, so there's going to be a lot of money flowing into Smash Ultimate's competitive scene. So people want a broken character that they can take advantage of.
Yeah.
What do you? So, MV Modern Vintage Gamer is going to be starting up tonight. What do you guys think you should go into World of Light, or just start doing like the classic mode? What do you think you should go in first?
I say classic. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna roll with classic to start, and then maybe jump into World of Light after. But yeah, I think that's the way to do it.
World of Light is so much fun. I'd say about a third of my time was maybe a quarter to a third of the time between the full 60 hours was a little grindy, a little unnecessary, but other than that, fully enjoy the entire time.
Okay.
Classic mode is dope. I unlocked all the characters through classic mode. There's faster ways to do it, but classic mode, it's cool because you get the spirit after you're done, and you get rewards. You get gold, you get spirit candy or whatever that you can feed your spirit. So you get a lot of rewards. So and you unlock the characters. But I asked a question before we move on or whatever. Who got slapped up by the unlocking the Pokemon, dude? I got slapped up a few times towards the end because the CPUs get harder and harder on the character unlocks.
Dude, the main I kept losing to just random female characters would smoke me. I got smoked by Peach. I got smoked by Daisy. Like when they started leveling up more, I literally was just like, oh, it's Daisy. And I literally was watching a podcast and playing, and she's just like, what? And I just fly out. I'm like, oh, okay, well, screw me.
My chat was making fun of me because I was getting slapped up by Pichu twice. Got beat by Pichu.
What happens if you lose to the character, though?
You can
challenge him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I don't know if they like randomly choose what kind of CPU level they'd be at, because I definitely fought Sheik and I couldn't hit her. Like anything I threw at her, she would just go through me and then start hitting me from behind.
Each time like you unlock, it gets harder, right, Austin? Each time you unlock a character, it gets harder.
But the last 10 guys I killed, like I just one-shot them. I even perfected one of them. It wasn't a problem at all.
It seems like, and I unlocked all of them, just for full disclosure, I unlocked all of them through Classic before launch, other than the ones I unlocked in World of Light. And in my experience, it seems at least semi-random. I definitely think that in general, they ramp up in skill set, but there were times where like the last 5 characters, and I just met somebody who literally fell off the side of the stage without me touching them. So it's hard to say.
I unlocked all of them in World of Light, and then in a separate video that I put out, I unlocked all of them in Smash in 90 minutes. I don't know if you saw the video.
It's a good video.
Shameless self-promotion, thanks. At the very beginning, they're like level 1 or 0.1, and then once you get toward the end, they're like 8, 7-ish. Like they can beat you real easy.
So let me move on. What else did anyone else play anything else this week? Because I know everyone was building
Katamari Damacy reroll. Fantastic game.
Yep.
Go buy it. $30.
I picked it up yesterday. Freaking awesome.
I love it. I love it so much. I've already beaten everything, but I'm still just messing around and playing through it again.
I grabbed PUBG on PS4 actually, just because, man, it's weird to play that game because the hype is so dead, and honestly, the game just came out and the servers are already pretty barren. But
I'm curious about the frame rate on PS4. Is it as bad as the Xbox One? Or
it's so good, and that's the problem. Is like they finally fixed it, and it's just gonna bomb. Like honestly, I'm playing it like they finally fixed it, but so many games have done it so much better now that a fixed PUBG just isn't enough.
See, okay, yeah, I was gonna say everyone's moved on to like Fortnite and everything, right?
Yeah, well, and man, Blackout. Like obviously, I'm friends on Xbox with Sean, and I'll see at 3 a.m. he's doing matches of Blackout. It's just like Call of Duty Black Ops 4 does it so good, and so playing the original version of it now is just not good.
You're still playing Blackout, Sean?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh wow, is that the first Call of Duty game in a long time to actually hold your interest this long into December?
Yes. Yeah, Black Ops 3, I hated. Advanced Warfare, or whatever the hell it was called, I didn't like. World War II was okay, but I don't know. Like, I liked the weapons and I liked how it looked, but I didn't like how it played because I felt like they didn't really make it. Like, obviously, war in World War II would feel a lot different than war in a modern era or in a futuristic era. But I felt like the gameplay just still felt like way too fast. Like, I don't know, but yeah, like I really like it. It's a fun game.
All right, very good, very good. I played Gear.Club 2, which I know you played, Sean.
Oh God,
it's not a $60. It's $60. It's weird. It's $60 digitally, but it's $50 physically.
Yeah.
I don't get why that is.
I had high hopes for that game, like because the first one wasn't great by any stretch of the imagination, but it was a quick port job from a mobile thing, and it seemed like okay, now we have the framework down. Let's make this one exclusively for the Switch, which is what they did. And then it's like this game, it's like okay, now we have a framework down, so let's make the next one. And it's like it's I don't know, it's just so weird how there's things that have improved, but then there's things that really haven't improved. And it's like, it almost feels like they didn't take the game serious because they don't know what the game wants to be. Do you want to be arcadey or do you want to be simulation. Like it definitely leans towards simulation, but there's still many arcadey elements, and it's just like stuck in the middle somewhere. And it's not a $60 game. Like you can't, if you're gonna say, okay, we're making a racing game and it's gonna be $60, you better fucking be able to match Gran Turismo, Forza, or at least come close to it in some sort of aspects. And the game doesn't.
Well, would you say, just as a question, because actually I've been curious about it, I didn't hear about it until y'all started talking about Gear Club. And what I was curious about is it sounds like it has Fable syndrome, where it seems like it's so hyped up and every game seems like it should be better, but they're not. Every game just slightly misses the mark. Is it that where it's like you think it's going to be good, but the Legos don't come together right?
I mean,
I spaced out. Are we talking about Fallout 76?
Right. No, Gear Club.
Like the first Gear Club released last year, last December actually, and I picked it up and I was like, okay, you know, first time on the Switch, I'll give them a little bit of slack. It's not bad. There's not any simulation racing games. And then they came out and said, okay, we're doing Gear Club Unlimited 2 exclusively for the Switch, no mobile. So it was like, okay, so you're obviously going to focus a lot on this game and try to make it a lot better. And just the jump isn't there. Like they improve the car handling. I'll definitely say that. They try to do more track variety, which is good, but like it's even just basic shit. Like there's no music when you're racing. There's no music. You can't turn on any sort of music, and it's like all you hear is
sound like a racing game,
like,
right?
And it's just so weird. There's just so many missteps. You go to upgrade your car, so they tout it as a simulation. When they sent out the press release emails, it says Forza for the Nintendo Switch.
Forza, yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh,
like, no bullshit. Like that's why I titled my video the way I titled it, and it's like you want to be Forza, but when I go to upgrade my car, so you go to like do an engine upgrade. It's not like you literally do engine upgrade level 1, 2, 3. You can't tinker with anything. You can't adjust gear ratios or anything. So it's just like, what do you want to be? Because this is arcadey. This is how you upgrade in an arcade game, not a simulation game.
Yes, that is correct. Oh, Nate's here. I kept trying to send Nate the link, and it kept spinning. I had the same thing happen with yours, OJ. It kept spinning when I tried to do that, and finally went through. Nate, what's going on?
I am completely exhausted at this current second. So
okay, take your time. we were talking about some games. Yes, Gear Club 2, not worth the money. That's basically it right now.
Okay. I was playing that.
Oh yeah, did you play the first one?
No.
Okay, see, I think it's better if you haven't played the first one because the second one and the first one are basically the same game just about. So it's for people who are upgrading, it's probably not worth it at all.
I was going to capture footage of the first tournament, and the game crashed on me 3 times. And then I just said, you know what, the hell with it.
It wouldn't recognize my car at one point for a race. I had to hard reset the Switch, and then I went back in, and all of a sudden it recognized it. So
when I was
you
playing,
guys were talking about this game, and it sounded so familiar. And then I finally realized they sent me Damien S sent me 4 emails to try to review this game. And I watched the trailer and I'm like, how come there's no racing and how come there's no gameplay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't, I mean, it's not terrible looking, but it's not like Forza.
It's not Forza.
No.
It's a middle of the road game.
Need for Speed Underground 1.
Actually, I would like Need for Speed Underground. No, 2. If they just ported 2 over, I'd be on it.
I was just about to say that. I was like, I'd be down for some Need for Speed Underground. Like on the Switch.
Yeah.
Especially if they had all those songs back, dude. That had a great
Riders on the Storm remix.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they gotta bring back Midnight. I like Midnight Club LA a lot too.
I was always a Need for Speed Carbon guy. I love Carbon.
Carbon was good too.
Yeah.
I mean, Carbon was basically underground and all that. They had that same framework until they realized that they could give you your car parts and loot boxes for some reason.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, gosh, Carbon was good though.
It was reviewed poorly, but I really enjoyed Pro Street.
Well, Carbon
Pro Street was good.
Carbon bombed pretty hard. Like, remember, it came out, it got really bad reviews, and it got discounted later, and then it became a huge cult classic. Like, everybody had that thing.
I think I remember playing Carbon on my original Xbox.
Yeah,
I played Carbon on the Wii. I remember I rented it. I also played like Most Wanted around. I think they came out. They used to come out like every single year. Those games.
Yes.
And that was the first one where like the Need for Speed fatigue kicked in, where people were like, "Oh my god."
Most Wanted.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was okay, and it had like an easy 1,000 achievement points. So I was like,
Yeah, right.
This game's dope.
Most Wanted was good. I liked Most Wanted because that was the first game I got. I remember I got it, and it was on the 360, and that was one of the first times I like saw how good 360 could be visually. Because before then we were just looking at the shiny parts of like the floor in Perfect Dark, you know.
or dude, the water effects in Gears of War. I remember I worked like a 12-hour day at this construction job, and I came home and so I was playing Gears of War and just staring at the rain effects. And I walked in like, oh my god.
Gears was the first game that I was really like, yo, Xbox, like these graphics, like HD. That was the first game for me that really kind of sold it, like the HD and all that.
Oh yeah, Liam Robertson's in the chat. What's going on, man? It's like 2 a.m. where he is though. I think so.
He's a monster.
It's late night viewing. Yeah,
he's playing Smash, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
He's like playing Smash.
That's true.
Oh, and you caught that super chat that went through?
I was gonna read super chats at 9:30, so we got another 4 minutes.
Oh, I didn't know it's an interval thing.
Oh yeah, because for a while there we would do it like whenever they popped up, and it would like throw us off track, and we would forget what we were talking about half the time.
Sorry, haven't been around in a minute.
Oh no, it's fine. Any other games you guys been playing? Anything good?
I can't talk about it, but Everspace.
I have that code. I haven't redeemed it yet. I need to do that.
But I can't say anything. But I've been playing it, and it's coming next in a few days. The 11th.
Yeah, the 11th.
And I've been playing Crash Bandicoot on my PlayStation Classic because I hacked it. So yeah,
we're gonna talk about the PlayStation Classic because MVG is he's elbow deep in hacking that thing up too. So I wanted to get his take on that because he's the guy who. Okay, so let me get this straight because I think if I remember correctly, when I had my original Xbox modded, I think I used one of your emulators on it.
Yeah,
would I be right?
You
Okay,
probably did.
Yes, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah, he's. If you guys didn't know, MVG writes emulators. You've done them for the Switch recently, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and you did it definitely on the original Xbox because you talked about it, and I was like, I definitely used this emulator back in like 2003 on that thing.
Yeah, if you have a modded Xbox laying behind you somewhere with ROMs and stuff, it's probably some of my work that's on there.
I've definitely
weird.
played tons of it.
You say laying behind you somewhere.
Move that silver play button out of the way and get it.
I literally have it right here.
There you go.
I think mine's in here too somewhere. Yeah, I'm testing out that Dreamcast HDMI, or sorry, the Xbox HDMI cable.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting to hear that because now you're on the PlayStation Classic. I saw you took a picture and you're talking about trying to mod it and hack it and do kinds of stuff. Are you in that? I guess in that hacking scene right now with the PlayStation Classic?
Not really. I'm kind of just keeping, tabs on what's going on there because it's moving so fast. I mean, every single day there's a new kind of discovery. Like a few days ago, it was the keyboard thing, where you could get into the menu, and that's we're way past that now. Now you can load up games off a USB flash drive, and I think some of you guys did videos on that. So who knows what happens next week? I mean, this thing is just. It just keeps going and going and going. So I think eventually we'll just see some type of really simple to use way just to load as many games as you can off a flash drive.
It's moving quick. Yeah, that's why I'm hoping that we get to the point where we can just load ROMs right onto the internal like eMMC storage and just roll. That'd be cool. But now we're plugging in full external hard drives and everything. Yep. So it's pretty impressive. Mega Man Legends, by the way, runs perfect, 100% on it. They definitely had probably tried because Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 apparently it does not work as well.
There's some games that have never really emulated very well on the PlayStation, and Tony Hawk's always been one that's for whatever reason has been very, very demanding processor wise, and I don't think it has enough horsepower to emulate it properly.
Okay.
Just as a little tip, what's really interesting about the PlayStation Classic that I feel like some people are starting to notice is that it seems to read the entire image file simultaneously. So it tries to basically shows the screen that would be the load screen, and then it immediately disappears. And I feel like even other games, even other digital ISOs I've played of PlayStation games didn't load this fast. So it's pretty freaking sweet.
I can't prove this yet, but I believe that's why there's 1 gigabyte of memory on board. Basically loads the whole thing into memory.
Wow.
And then it just, it really speeds up the loading times on that thing.
And then what is the change disk button basically that dump the memory and put the new one in?
And then it loads up the new one.
Oh, that's cool. That's
interesting.
That's good though to have that 1 gigabyte on there just to dump the whole thing in there. But 16 gigabytes on board seems like a lot of space to have on there for ROMs, and I mean that means you could fit the entire Super Nintendo, the entire Nintendo, and the entire N64 library all on that chip, and then still have room left over.
Yep.
So, and go ahead, Austin.
Real quick, completely irrelevant, but since we're talking about classic stuff, did anyone see the new trailer for Toe Jam and Earl?
Yeah, that's coming
Yes.
out March 1st, right?
Yeah.
I saw that and I got giggity as a schoolgirl.
I haven't. I saw the screenshot, but I haven't clicked it yet. It's pretty good.
It's the
looks
it's
awesome,
the original game
Mhm.
now in slightly better 3D, and like they even poke fun. It's like a brand new game from 1991.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, heck yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah. They did it on, like,
That's what
Time to
everyone
Come.
wants.
Oh,
They
yeah,
want- no one wants to
looking at it.
escape from Funkatron again.
Right. Yeah. Do you know they were making one for Dreamcast? They did about 40% of the work on the Dreamcast one, and they canceled it. And people found the code. You can play like Toe Jam Dreamcast.
I heard
that's
about it. I never explored it myself.
Well, you know,
It-
the
it-
Xbox version, the OG Xbox version, is kind of like the successor to the original Dreamcast code that never came out.
Mhm.
If you've ever seen that one,
There's
And-
an Xbox one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Toe Jam and Earl, yes.
It's been forgotten about.
Yeah, Austin's on eBay right now shopping. He's looking to pick it up.
Mission to Earth. This looks like Spyro.
Yeah, yeah. Let me see what the super chat was that I have here. Oh, Matt M. This is talking about the Game Awards that we're going to get into here soon. Talking about Mortal Kombat is their highlight. Is from Matt M. I can't understand the unfair hate about Red Dead Redemption winning awards. I think it's just because that was the favorite, and a lot of people didn't want it to win just because it was the favorite. I
No.
guess.
Red Dead Redemption 2 won Best Soundtrack. Did people
Yeah.
play Octopath Traveler? How can that game
Well,
be best?
I actually think Celeste probably should have won that.
Yeah,
or
I
even
think-
Celeste. There are two games that had much better soundtracks than Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, Celeste had a better soundtrack. My problem was I wish Best Narrative went to God of War, because I think God of War's choice to make it like one long, seamless cut was
Yes.
a very strong narrative choice that we should have rewarded. Personal
Yes.
opinion.
Yeah, that's a good point. That was a good point. Yeah, we're talking about the Game Awards pretty soon, because it was something else.
Oh yeah.
Any other games you guys have been playing before we go into the Game Awards?
I played and finally finished Assassin's Creed, so that took me freaking forever to finish.
yeah,
it,
honest,
but I
that's a
did
long
beat it.
game, isn't it?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I had to beat it. Like I was going through the campaign and I finally beat it. I think I put about 80 hours into the game.
Wow.
Which is ridiculous.
Wow. What system do you play that on?
On the PS4 Pro.
Oh, okay, cool. All right,
Yeah.
yeah, very good, very good. So we can any other games, guys, before we move on? Anyone play Ashen?
I've been playing Smash.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Anyone play Ashen at all? I downloaded that. I've played like an hour of it so far.
I watched a little bit of gameplay from about halfway in just to see what it's about. It looks all right, but I mean, it's also, I don't know, it's one of those indies that feels very indie just from the look of it.
Devil May Cry demo.
Oh yeah,
Devil May Cry demo?
I beat that. I beat that
Yep.
demo.
I liked it. It was pretty cool. It was smooth. It's 4K 60, so
Yeah, it is.
it looks good. It looks good.
That boss fight is intense. And if that's
Yeah.
just one taste of it, yeah, I want boss fights that literally destroy the map while you do them. Hell yeah.
Yes, that was really cool. Like you were transitioning between scenes, you were destroying parts of the world while you're moving. It was a cool boss fight. If that's what they give you in the demo, I'm looking forward to the main game. But anyone with an Xbox One right now can download the demo and try it out for Devil May Cry 5. So I recommend you do that, because it was pretty good. So do we want to move into the Game Awards?
Hans Zimmerman.
Let me let's pull up the Game Awards results, because I know you guys probably want to talk about the announcements, and then you probably also want to go over who won what, because we were just talking about who won what when it came to the Game of the Year. So why don't we start with the Game of the Year to get started, which was God of War. Were you guys surprised that it was not Red Dead Redemption 2?
I was surprised because I thought Red Dead was going to win, but I did want God of War to win, and I was very pleased when it did win.
Same.
Yes. Yeah, I wanted God of War to win as well, and I was really happy. But because I wanted it to win, I figured it wouldn't, because Red Dead was cleaning up right before then. I think RPG of the Year was Monster Hunter.
Yeah. Monster Hunter was by far one of my favorite games of the year. I think it's amazing, but I definitely think Xenoblade Chronicles should have gotten that. It seems that's a more obvious RPG, and in my opinion, probably a better game.
Yeah, what's funny is it wasn't even nominated.
It wasn't even nominated. Yeah, that was the funny
They
thing.
forgot about it. I don't know what
Yeah.
happened. I think Jeff even said, yeah, we forgot about that game. Sorry. We didn't
Yeah.
forget about Fortnite, though.
Right.
So we had to
Yeah.
put that in there, even though that came out before.
Just
Xenoblade Chronicles.
real quick, can I say that it's absolute bullshit, excuse my French, the fact that best creator were all Fortnite streamers, and when they were showing off their content, it was literally just a collection of kill cam shots. It's like, what the hell? Best content creator, and it's literally all the same people doing the same thing.
That's like the YouTube Rewind thing, because it popped up and it was like all Twitch stars.
Oh man, that YouTube Rewind was a bad rewind.
I mean, I think Epic really invested a lot of money into the Game Awards, because we're talking about the Epic Game Launcher, and no one mentioned Steam for the whole night. I think he said Steam once, and that was a bit of a Freudian slip or something.
He coughed. He was like,
because it was all about the Epic Game Launcher, and this is available on the Epic Game Launcher, and Fortnite this and it just felt like Epic really invested a ton of money into the.
Well, let me ask you this: did you see the fallout that happened with Ashen when that launched?
I saw that. Yep.
It was supposed to be a Play Anywhere title, which means it was going to launch on the Windows Store. But when it came out, it launched on the Epic Games Store. So it wasn't a Play Anywhere title. And they came out and they said, well, Epic Games told us that we could be like one of their big front and center games to launch with. So yeah, we went there. And it's like, wow, they're pulling Ashen away from the Windows Game Store after Microsoft worked with them. So it shows how aggressive they are right now trying to get these games on there.
I think one of the things is, though, about the content creator of the year is, in my opinion, a lot of people were, going back and forth with this on Twitter. In my opinion, it's very simple. Is a streamer a content creator? Yes. Is a as a person who makes YouTube videos a content creator? Yes. Is a streamer and a YouTube content creator the same thing? No. So there should be two different categories.
You should have content creator of the year, and you should have streamer of the year.
Exactly, because I am not as good of a streamer as a lot of these people are, and I mean, they probably could make a video, because let's be honest, I'm not very good at making videos. But someone who's actually good at making
you only had one mess up in your video though earlier,
right? Like
there's only one. I mean,
that wasn't too bad. The funny thing is, I realized it like right as it was done processing, and I was like, "Oh, we'll just put it in the comments." And then I was in my download folder, and there was like a picture of Magnum condoms, and I'm not sure why there was a picture of that in there.
You know why there was.
So I just put it in the comments. I was like, "Yeah, there's a picture of Magnums in my downloads. Who doesn't have that?"
Yeah, you gotta keep them on hand just in case. But yeah, no, I definitely agree that they should have done that, because it feels really weird that I feel like they just don't talk about YouTube or highlight YouTube. I feel like it's because also I feel like they did a bunch of marketing deals with Twitch. That was a big Twitch event.
Best ongoing game is Fortnite. I feel like No Man's Sky should have taken that one.
No. So can I say something about that? That's complete. I think there's something with that right there. That's complete BS that No Man's Sky is even there in the first place, because you can't sit here and tell me that your best ongoing game when you run away from your fans at launch. Like that's absolutely ridiculous. You run away, you hide, the game was in shambles, and then you get a big update. Best ongoing game. Screw that, man. That's
because they also released it as a new game for $50 for the Xbox.
That's an absolute sham that Keighley would put that game in there when that's not how you treat your fans and say best ongoing game. Where were you at launch when you lied to everybody? Best ongoing fraud. More like
I put the list in the chat for you guys on that website if you want to look at some of the.
I found that to be absolutely ridiculous. That was one thing that I was really pissed off about was that, and I was pissed off about other things, but that actually made me like rant against that. And Keighley needs to be like, "Yo, bro, come on, man! Like, don't do that again. That's a shame."
Having No Man's Sky in there, you might as well have Sea of Thieves next to it.
Right. That'll improve.
That Hello Games also had another trailer that they launched very, very quietly. They didn't, not a big deal. And it was easy to kind of miss. And I was like, was that a Hello Games release? I'm like, holy shit, they got a new game out. This is amazing.
Yeah. When we were streaming it, I was streaming it on my boy Jason's channel, and like Hello Games popped up, and he's like, "Hello Games, why does that sound familiar?" I was like, "I'm pretty sure those are the No Man's Sky people." He was like, "Oh, they're making another game."
Oh man!
And it was like completely. It was a very, not to use it in the negative connotation, but it was a very indie looking sort of game, especially compared to the mass scale of No Man's Sky. So it looks like they're sort of scaling it back.
Well, I feel like OJ brings up a point also, which is it's weird that they would give an award to No Man's Sky, but it's also definitely one of those weird times where I noticed that it seemed like they picked and chose very carefully who was going to get to come out on stage. It definitely seemed like something like that is going to be one of those ones that they just mumble like, hey, guess what? Also, this guy won. Like, they're not going to do that one on stage.
They don't want to put Sean Murray on stage.
Exactly. They don't want to bring Sean Murray out there because everyone's going to be real awkward.
Mad.
Chat will roast him. It was weird. I hate that so much of it is off screen still. They give away like 50 awards total, I think is what it is. And like 12 of them are actually on stage.
Best narrative was Red Dead. We just talked about that. We thought God of War should have won that one.
The best narrative entire category is toxic just from the mention of Detroit. Detroit's narrative is trash.
I haven't played it yet. I still need to play it.
I still haven't played it either.
I like it a lot. I've actually beaten it twice. My girlfriend's super into it. We're actually going to put on costumes and look like the characters here actually in a couple months for a convention. And I think that's the thing is that as clunky as a lot of that writing is, I think people really like the characters.
Yeah, you're either into those David Cage kind of games or you're not. And I liked it. I've played it a couple of times. I've finished it. I think it's interesting.
I need to check it out. I got it for 20 or 25 on Black Friday at Walmart, so I need to check that one out.
Yeah.
Best art direction. I don't know what happened here with I guess Return of Obra Dinn one.
Oh yeah! Wow.
Play that.
I tinkered a little bit.
Dude,
it needed to win that.
Really? Okay.
It looks like if your eyes were replaced with Game Boy camera lenses, and I mean that in a cool way, where everything is really pixelated in a really weird way. It like loads everything in a really weird way. It's very, very artsy.
Yeah, because it went over Octopath, and I was almost positive Octopath is going to win that. So that must have like been like a dark horse that like came in and won that. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because Octopath did some interesting stuff with Unreal Engine, that's why I thought that was a cool thing to see. Best score in music went to Red Dead Redemption 2, which we already talked about with Celeste, and Octopath getting snubbed on that award. Which I don't know. Best audio design went to Red Dead Redemption 2.
Shocked.
It's
those pistols are so good.
Best performance went to Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan.
It was so great seeing Roger Clark on stage just talking, and like I'm closing my eyes and I'm like I'm picturing this man in a cowboy hat, and then Christopher Judge was up there with Boy. So good.
Did you know the guy who voices Arthur Morgan has purposely not talked on camera basically at all since he did the Arthur Morgan voice? That was the first time I've ever just heard him talk. It was so funny.
And we had, let's see, Best Independent Game went to Celeste, as well as Games for Impact went to Celeste. So Celeste won those 2 awards, which is good, because it should win some awards. Best Mobile went to Florence. I didn't play it. Best VR AR game is Astrobot, as it should be. Although Tetris Effect is kind of neat too if you play that.
Man, I felt like Tetris Effect should have got that one. I think Astrobot is really good, but Tetris Effect is next level for me. I feel disappointed that it did not get it.
I think Astro Boy did a little bit more like unique or like innovative within the AR or like the VR or whatever.
That's what people always talk about with Astrobot is that they felt like it was like the big game for it. What's interesting is Most came out early in the year and people always talked about that game, and now no one talks about it. And here it is losing out.
Did I say Astrobot or Astro Boy?
I said Astro Boy.
Yeah,
okay,
Astrobot.
I meant Astrobot.
Best action game went to Dead Cells. Dead Cells is good. I like that. Best action adventure, God of War. Best role playing game somehow went to Monster Hunter World. I don't really understand. I mean, that's like last year where there was a website that gave best RPG to Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's really weird.
Yeah, like Kotaku. It sounds like something they would do.
I had to look to see what it was. I remember I saw that. I was like, why did Horizon Zero Dawn win Best RPG? But that means that Monster Hunter World went over Dragon Quest 11, which I actually thought about it more. I think Dragon Quest 11 should have won it, but it also went over Octopath Traveler, Pillars of Eternity 2, and Ni no Kuni 2.
I finally beat Dragon Quest 11, by the way. Whoa.
It's good, right?
Whoa, it's good. Whoa,
I was telling you, it takes a long time to beat it too, but it is good.
It does, yeah. Well, and I guess kind of fell off. I mean, I was probably 35 hours in and stuff, and some of those ending dungeons were just so long, and I die and have to do the whole dungeon again because I missed a checkpoint or something. But once
that's
you
really
get
annoying when that happens. Yeah. But it's good, and it's one of those games I was playing. I couldn't stop playing it, and then you get to the end with the credits, and then there's like a whole nother game after the credits.
Which I haven't gotten to that yet. I haven't done the.
Insane.
I've heard that's like 30 hours of epilogue. That's something crazy.
It's crazy. I check in from it time to time, and it's like a whole nother game basically that they just jammed in there. It's really cool.
2 for the price of 1.
Yeah. Best fighting game, Dragon Ball Fighters, which that makes sense. I mean, what that went over Soul Calibur 6, Street Fighter 5 Arcade. Wait, Street Fighter 5.
Why is that game even there?
I was gonna say what? Street Fighter 5 didn't come out this past year.
They did a repackage of it called Arcade Edition, which OJ will correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just basically like the way they do the Super and Ultra, where it's just like bringing together all the characters, right?
Yeah, and then the updates that they've done. So the updates and then bringing and which they said that they wouldn't do.
Yeah,
we're not going to do Super and all that. Oh yeah, you are. Okay,
I remember that.
Go crazy. That's so good. Let's just go ahead and move on.
Dude, by those stupid rules, they should have done like, okay, and the winner for best RPG is Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition because it's a new game. It has all the
DLC. It essentially is. So why isn't Final Fantasy? I mean, you're right about that. I know you're joking, but you're right about that. It's essentially the same thing. Yet it's I guess that was the logic for Fortnite. Well, it's a completely new thing. Like so.
Is there was there a lack of fighting games or something for this category this past year? That's all I can think of why they would drop
a
5
lack of high-profile fighting games.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle is even nominated, right?
No, it is. It is.
Okay, it is. Yeah, I mean, there was fighting games. I mean, SNK Heroines. That game's a little weird. Whether you're playing it on the PS4 or the Switch.
I mean, we assume Smash is going to win this category next year.
It might be forgotten. It came out in December.
Yeah. Oh no, you can't forget about that game.
That's something Game Explain was talking about a lot. Is Game Explain? Andre specifically was talking about the fact that the Game Awards, for as much as you can like them, they have a horrible problem of recency bias. Like the closer a game is to the Game Awards, it wins more awards. So I mean, it may be completely forgotten somehow.
And don't forget Mortal Kombat next year.
Yes.
Oh, Mortal Kombat.
I was going to interrupt everyone soon as Spawn said best sports/racing game, and then I was going to say the best sports racing game was Ed Boon going up there and showing the Mortal Kombat trailer.
Yeah, we're gonna go through these announcements. There were some pretty good ones. Best family game was Overcooked 2, just edging out Nintendo Labo.
Best Nintendo game was a Nintendo game.
Yeah, best strategy game was Into the Breach. Best sports racing was Forza Horizon 4, as it should be. Strangely, NBA 2K19 and FIFA 19 didn't win. Wow.
NBA should have won. Fantastic game.
Yes, it's after you get past the first $300, it's pretty good.
Don't do the stupid career mode. Why do you want to play as someone? Play as the actual people.
So don't play half the game.
Don't play exactly. I don't touch that shit. Give me my updated rosters. Give me my updated stats, my trades. I'm good.
That sounds like something they could just give you as a download.
But they don't, so I have to buy it every year.
Wait, couldn't you just make the trades yourself?
Yeah, but then you have to account for rookies, and have to change up players. Get better, they get worse. I don't have time to do all that.
Sounds like
there used to be a dude at my junior college that would do these. Like, man, I can't afford it. I'm just gonna go ahead and update Madden 04.
Yeah, I make the new quarterback and everything that just got drafted.
Yeah, you would just sit there and take forever to make. I'm like, bro, you are just stingy. Just go.
I used to have a coworker who played one of the NBA games every single year. He played like the one from like 2008, and he's been playing it for like 10 years. And he just makes characters and just keeps playing it. And he's like, I don't need a new game. I mean, this one still plays. It's like, kind of. Because the disc isn't broken doesn't mean you shouldn't replace it.
Best multiplayer game was won by a game that came out in 2017, Fortnite, over Black Ops 4 and Destiny 2 and Monster Hunter World.
Wow.
Content creator, streamer of the year was Ninja. Surprise. Best esports game was Overwatch. And then esports athlete of the year was Sonic Fox. So we also have to look at the announcements that took place. There were actually quite a few.
Yeah, tons.
A lot. What do you guys think of all the bigwigs coming out on stage? All three of them: Phil Spencer,
Great.
Sean Layden.
So good.
So
good.
That was epic. I really liked it. But the thing is, what happened to Sean Layden after? Because the other two guys came out and did theirs bit, but was Sean Layden, did he do a thing afterwards? Because I didn't see it if he did.
So somebody asked him that, and he said something very close to the lines of, we had nothing to show until next year, so we decided to take our leave. And it's basically like, I think they knew that there would be games that were on PlayStation, but PlayStation is holding every card for 2019. So Sean Lee didn't want to just be awkwardly standing off to the side. So
yeah, he was out of there. He's like, I'm done. It's interesting they flew him in just for that. I mean, he is probably also there. You go there to mingle and make any connections you can and stuff. But
make business. I saw some people talking about how crazy. Apparently, a lot of people have actually tried to bring those people together before. Like someone's tried to do that as a publicity stunt previously, and they wouldn't agree to it. This is the first year where somebody actually managed to get all those dudes to come out and do a thing together.
Yeah, Jeff Keighley made it out to be like a real something that was like years in the making trying to get done. So I think you're right about that. Like it seemed like
Reggie also gave him, Reggie and Phil Spencer both gave him props. I think Phil on Twitter was like, hey man, like Keighley made this happen. So I guess he's been trying to get it to happen. So
yeah. So it's good to see the point. I mean, like I said, it's kind of the show just keeps building. So that was a cool
I'd
thing.
rather have the show than not. I mean, you can hate on it for whatever the case is. There's obviously some issues here and there, but I mean, I'd rather have it than not,
Yeah.
Dude, can we just agree this was by far the best year yet? We didn't have Schick Hydrobot or any of that BS.
There were they blended the commercials in a little better too.
Yeah.
Like you didn't feel like there was advertising in front of you all the time.
Segways were real good. Like there was like a real good crew running production.
Usually I'm miserable and want to like light myself on fire, but it was okay. It was decent.
I think they did a good job of just doing it's very seamless. It seemed like they just kept doing giant events on stage. It's like crazy raining leaves at one point, and then 30 seconds later they like cut away and come back and the whole stage is cleared and there's now a band there. It was like definitely crazy production.
Yes.
They announced Joker, so
yeah, we're gonna get into that too.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that. Okay, cool.
And if you vape, you're 20 times more likely to start smoking.
Yeah, the truth ads are so. You know what those truth ads did for me? I was watching them and I'd be like, "Fuck, I want to go have a cigarette," and I'd go have a cigarette. Like,
do you want to know something really, really funny? And this is just like off topic. Did you know those truth ads have to be legally paid for by smoking companies? Like Marlboro pays for those; they have to.
wow.
Nice. They lost a case. Like so many millions of people die from cigarettes. They're like, okay, you have to spend some of your billions fighting your own business. So they literally have to smack themselves in the face.
That's kind of funny.
They should.
And at the same time, it wasn't an anti-vaping advertisement. It was a Juul attack. They were attacking Juul because it's super easy to get to. The whole idea of like I've been tobacco free for 6.5 years thanks to big box mods like this, and like we're not bothering anyone. It's the kids who are getting Juuls underage. But guess what? My dad was getting cigarettes when he wasn't of age. So were your parents. Everyone's parents were. And people just forget that. Sean was.
I was getting them when I was 16 because I had facial hair.
My parents weren't, man. We were trying to eat, man.
Yeah, right. That's what I said. My parents didn't drink or smoke, actually.
I grew up so poor we did not have any of that. Well, my parents smoked a little bit of pot. That was about it.
Let's go through the announcements. Good news from the creators of Ark Survival Evolved. Atlas is showing up, I assume 2019, I think. Yeah. Apparently this is going to be said to be 1,200 times bigger than Ark.
Good luck with that.
Right.
Can't even have a stable fucking game after how many years on any platform?
Yeah, I think a lot of people were annoyed to see them announce that game despite Ark running so poorly and just not being like well optimized right now at all. I don't think it's ever been, so it was interesting to see that. Atlas.
I guarantee it's going to be freaking totally empty. I mean, the entire map, like it's going to be procedurally generated, and it's going to be like the planets on No Man's Sky at launch. Like, yes, there's 80 quadrillion planets, but if it's just one plant and some ice cubes, who gives a crap?
Outer Worlds. That actually looked kind of cool from the creators of Fallout, right? The original Fallout.
Yes,
and Fallout New Vegas, I believe.
Dude, they've been.
For the record, they went bankrupt making Fallout 1 and 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
like everyone was like, "Oh, they're throwing in that jab at Bethesda." It's like they failed.
Yeah, but they also had to lay people off after Bethesda didn't pay them their bonus for missing Metacritic score by 1 point.
What?
They were when New Vegas came out.
Yeah.
There was a clause that said if you get an 85, we'll pay you so many millions of dollars. The rumor was like $1.5 million. How much was going to be paid out if they hit an 85? If you go look at New Vegas's Metacritic score, it's an 84, and Bethesda didn't pay them anything. So then they had to lay off like 30 or 40 people the next day.
Oh,
It was a big deal at the time. I remember that because a lot of people were like, they planned on spinning up production and started the next project, and instead they had to downscale, refigure everything out. Yeah.
And since then, they've been having money problems until now.
Well, yeah, now, so, I mean, Papa Microsoft bought them, so now they have infinite budget to finish this. But didn't they say, I swear, isn't Outer Worlds coming out 2019?
It's 2019. It's going to be for all platform, well, PS4, Xbox One, and PC, I think. And that's because this was a contract prior to Microsoft buying them. So they have to finish it up. It's kind of like how Compulsion still put We Happy Few on all platforms. It's same deal. They have to do that.
Dude, I've seen so much. I follow a lot of the Fallout YouTubers on Twitter, and they are losing their minds over the Outer Worlds. And apparently, some website got exclusive 15 minutes. They got to play like 15 or 20 minutes of it, and those screenshots are crazy. I want to play it so bad.
Okay. Dragon Age. Did you guys? Did people even know this was Dragon Age? What it was like? I feel like a lot of people weren't even sure what it was because they didn't put a title up or anything. We saw BioWare and we were like, this must be Dragon Age.
Yeah. I only knew it because they said beforehand that they were going to show it. Remember, they were like, we will be showing a Dragon Age logo, and it popped up, and I was like, oh, that's what that is.
Yeah. It was it definitely wasn't much. So Dragon Age, I guess, is happening someday. I don't know. Rage 2 got a trailer again, May 14th for PS4, Xbox One, PC. It looks interesting. Apparently it's 60 frames. I don't know if it'll be 4K. We'll see.
I'm having difficulty getting excited about Rage 2. I don't know why. It's just I don't know where it fits in the ecosystem with those type of shooting games.
Now it depends on if they're able to achieve what they did with the AI in the first one. That's really going to hit or miss it. Like
Max, you played it, right?
Yes, I played it, and it was 4K when I played it.
Ooh, okay, cool.
So it was 4K, and the biggest reason to play Rage is because it's funny. Holy heck. The mission I got to play, they basically dropped me in and gave me all the magic abilities so I could like super rush people and throw like this explosive boomerang. But the funny thing was like it had some great writing. I basically was trying to break into this museum and use their computer to call down this super artifact from space that would have all these guns our team needed. And when you're doing it, it basically was like this, like, all right, I hacked all the buttons so that no matter what, they'll open. And so when you go up to the first button and press it, it's like, welcome, Mr. President, to the Presidential Museum. And so all the robots talk to you like you're the leader of the free world. It's really good.
Also, it was interesting for Switch owners. There was a conversation they had, or an interview. Was it with Game Informer? I think I have to double check. They say that this was pretty recent. They said they're looking into a Switch version, so whatever that means. We'll see if that actually happens. I mean, that's the thing. It's a 60 frames game, so maybe they cut it to 30, like what happened with Doom.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw it, the biggest thing was that it looked very much like Rage 1 did, which was that like a lot of desert, and then there's like a base, and when you go into that base, you can wander around and shoot people and tear stuff up. So I feel like it's something that would run on Switch because it's not having to load 80 bajillion things at once.
Okay. Oh, interesting. All right, maybe that's something they get panic button on. We'll see. Far Cry New Dawn.
Yeah, definitely buying that day
one.
one.
76, you mean?
Yeah, that was funny. It's gonna be funny when they do Fallout better than Fallout. I mean, we'll see with Outer World, but yeah, Fallout 76 can't catch a break. They're already messing things up. They're leaking information, and now Ubisoft is pushing them around. That's how you know you're in trouble.
Yeah,
I'll definitely check out that game. It looks really cool. I like the Far Cry series.
We'll play it co-op, man. Seriously, I want some co-op partner. Far Cry 5 co-op is so good.
For sure.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That's actually out in February, I think they said, right?
That's Far Cry month, February. It's when they release them all.
February 15th. Yep. And it's a $40 game as well.
Oh, really? Oh, nice. So it's like Primal. Primal is 40, right?
Yeah. This is think of like Blood Dragon, right? That was that might have been
that was 30. That was 30.
Yeah, that was 20 or 30. Yeah, that was a good. I actually like that game. That one was cool.
Well, and the thing is the same thing that they did with Primal, which was that they built that inside of the map of Far Cry 4. They're doing the same thing here. It's just going to be all the same landmarks, just a reskin. But I'm totally cool with that.
Let me talk about the big announcement that I was really excited for. Okay, this is not even Mortal Kombat. This is going a bit back here. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yes, sir.
Was announced, and this got me real excited because I love the Ultimate Alliance series.
I got hyped, man. I was
dude, I played the first one on my original Xbox so much. I love that game. And then they come out. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is an exclusive on the Switch.
And Team Ninja's doing it too, which is awesome.
Yeah, Team Ninja's doing it. Nintendo's publishing it. Marvel is giving them obviously the IP and the characters. Like, what happened here? How did this happen?
So,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say. So I just installed. They brought the Ultimate Alliance 2 over to the PlayStation 4 recently, and I actually installed it, so you can play it on PS4. It still looks and plays really, really good, and it looks like it's just going to be a direct sequel because I saw so many of those character models look very, very similar. So I think that's their way of trying to make this as cheap as possible.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I was going to
good,
kind of
What was
piggyback
the
on that.
timeline between getting that trailer, the Game Awards, and the Endgame trailer?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point because it all kind of hit all right next to
I
each
want to
other.
say within hours.
Yeah, that was
Within
that's-
hours of the Game Awards ending, they dropped the Endgame trailer.
What were you saying, OJ? About the
You know what? I forgot. I forgot my thought process.
Were you talking about the production? Because that's something you were about to spin up and say was about the look of it.
Oh
It
yeah,
looked
I was
horrible.
I was just going to say I think I don't remember as much anymore. But yeah, I was going to say something, but I totally forgot now, dude. But it's all good, you guys.
the viewpoint you use with those games is actually kind of zoomed out.
Yeah.
Like you're usually not like right against the character models. In that trailer, they got right against the character models, and it's like, okay, I guess. But usually you're zoomed out pretty far. So
The character models look like they had a thick black outline, like a 3DS game.
So that's something I've seen. I think one or two people were speculating on Twitter is that this may have been something they were working on with as a 3DS game, and for some reason it got put down for a while, and now they got more money to finish it, and so now maybe Marvel's funding it to drop it to coincide with Infinity War, basically. And so it's just basically
Endgame.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, in game. Yeah, and so it sounds like they're just basically trying to be like, okay, we need a Marvel game. The what is it called? The Avengers Initiative. What is the one that's called? That Square Enix is working on. That's like a million years off.
I think it's just called the Avengers Project, isn't it? Right now,
Yeah,
I don't
Avengers
think it's
Project.
called anything. Right? We were hoping we were going to see it here, but
yeah.
this was a cool surprise. I did not see that one coming. I don't know if anybody did.
What's the? Do you know the release date of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3?
2019 is all they say.
But I remember what I was going to say. Yeah. So like with the thanks, Jim. You kind of jogged in my mind.
Good.
The production value of the game. Everyone talks about like Marvel, like the graphics and stuff like that. But like the game was never really looked that good if you go back to the beginning where it kind of started. This was like the modern, like the old school beat 'em ups made modern because it has skill trees. You guys played the X-Men games. Remember the X-Men?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Legends, Rise of the Apocalypse. Like it's kind of the continuation to Marvel Ultimate Alliance. And those games, even when you played them back then, it was just kind of like, there's like Resident Evil 4 looked like way better, or like other games that were on the systems. But it's really fun to play with your friends and play co-op. That's the funnest thing about these games.
It's like Diablo. Like Diablo, when you zoom into the character models, they don't look good.
Oh yeah.
That's a good analogy.
But it's super fun to play with your friends, and that's what I'm excited for is playing online and playing locally with my brother. I beat all the games with my brother or with my friend A-Train back in the day, so I'm just really excited to kind of get back. I thought this franchise was dead. I was like, this is never gonna come back. We're never gonna get these old school games. So that's why I was so excited for it, because I thought it was dead. So
that's what games in Nintendo are all about. It's all about having fun, not about like the graphic quality and stuff.
And the mutants are in there. At least Wolverine is.
Yeah. There's a conspiracy theory going around that I halfway buy into, which is that this may have been purposely picked up and funded by Marvel because they're working on trying to bring the X-Men into the Marvel universe, and they want to make sure young people are going to know that these people are all supposed to play together, and that's part of what this is about.
Do you think I thought Nintendo would have to purchase the license for this and pay for it?
I think it was more that Marvel approached Nintendo with this idea, and then they found a developer to make the game. Like, remember, Marvel approached Sony and said, if you can find a developer to make a good Spider-Man game, we'll sign off on it.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a good chance because they don't want to make it. Marvel doesn't want to make a game. They want to license it.
Marvel also wants to make sure their properties and their licenses are in the hands of talented teams. They want to make sure the product coming out is quality, not that shit we got during the Xbox 360 generation of like terrible Thor games based on the movies. They want to make sure it's a high quality product, and that's why we got Spider-Man.
Yep, the whole game. I was about to say
How did they go from what was it, Ultimate Destruction to Hulk, whatever that was?
I think it was called The Incredible Hulk. Yeah, I think that's still the lowest review.
I'll tell you what, with where we're going with Marvel and everything, Microsoft needs to get on an Ultimate Destruction 2.
Yeah.
Bring that to Xbox as an exclusive. That
just
would
like
be killer.
Nate, the chat does not like your pronunciation of Marvel.
Marvel, like Carvel. No, I can see it. I mean, you don't say Carvel, you say Carvel ice cream.
Yeah, it's Marvel. What Marvel? It's Marvel. There. I mean,
Oh man.
Is it Marvel or is it Marvel? Because I just say Marvel.
I say Marvel.
I guess
Where you from, Nate?
Marvel. They're marvelous.
stop.
This is an interesting pickup though by Nintendo to have that happen. I mean, I don't think the Avengers project, could be wrong, is going to the Switch just because of when it started development, but I mean, I guess it could, but this is something that they would have as a good exclusive in 2019. Also, I assume single Joy-Con plays in then, because I guess you could,
I would think.
Sideways Joy-Con.
yeah.
I mean, those games are real basic, and they were about 4-button attacks. The only thing you did with the shoulder buttons were your quick move. So, like, if you were holding it as Spider-Man, you'd web swing and stuff.
Oh, I mean, I just like playing the games, leveling up all the characters and everything. It was so much fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time. You know, that's
also the custom kind of like you know how some of the the people work way better together. You know, like you can get like Spidey,
powers.
The powers work really well. Like if you put on the harder difficulties, that's when you really have to kind of enable those, like Spider-Man web, like like sticking him in the web, then Captain America shield, throwing him and like bouncing it off, kind of hits off the walls and destroys everything. So I really like that aspect.
It's dude, it's Gauntlet Legends with superheroes. Like, come on.
Just off topic, I hope they add in crazy DLC characters down the road like they did with the 1 and 2. Like 1 and 2 had funny things where like Doctor Doom is the main bad guy. Later on, they released Doctor Doom as a DLC character, and if you play as him, there's actually a new speech at the end where it's like, "How the hell are you here? Like, I'm the bad guy."
Man, that development must be insane, having to have everything approved through Marvel and then go through Team Ninja and Nintendo and everything. Man, all those characters got to be crazy. Chad actually says Hulk Ultimate Destruction was prototype before prototype, the same developer. It's probably correct, but I couldn't have what was it? Boxing gloves made out of cars in prototype. That was like the best thing, is where you take like cars and make boxing gloves out of them as the Hulk. Man,
that one you had a boxing glove made out of just flesh and bone, and you just chuck it down the street.
Still, man, it's like the Hulk is green, the Xbox is green. Like, Microsoft needs to get on that, man. That's easy marketing. Like, it's color lined up, man. It's easy like it's so easy. Like, I don't know why Microsoft doesn't try to do that. Maybe they are. I don't know. Maybe they are. They have enough studios to make one if they want.
Is the Fantastic Four owned by Sony because they're blue?
It's Fox, right?
Yeah, Fox, right?
Yeah.
Sony should buy them.
They should, yeah.
Well, no, but didn't
Nintendo should get Spider-Man?
Well, I thought the whole thing was that Disney and Fox had like that, like Disney.
Oh yeah, Disney did buy Fox.
So while no one's really talked about them, you could see the Fantastic Four actually enter the Marvel universe.
I don't think the deal is finalized yet. The American government has to approve it.
There's like FTC and stuff.
They probably will, but sometimes that can take a year or so.
Well, if they get it done, you bring in the X-Men, you bring in Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool. That'd be cool. And we also had Mortal Kombat 11 announced. We kind of saw this one coming a bit, but there was an interesting surprise. Nate, what was that surprise for Mortal Kombat 11?
What? That's coming to Switch?
It's coming to Switch.
The first Mortal Kombat game in 11 years.
Yeah, it was very interesting to hear about, because I didn't think anyone was expecting to come to Switch, because the rumor was that it was in development for almost 4 years. I mean, that makes sense because it's coming out April 23rd. So it's obviously they revealed it right up against when which I like that, by the way, is when a game like that gets revealed, we have to wait 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to get it. It's like, cool. January is when it's going to be unveiled completely at a community event. And then April 23rd, it comes out on PlayStation 4, PC, and Switch.
Could we just talk about, in a crazy, crazy reality, that they do Scorpion and Echo Fighter Sub-Zero in Smash, who then gets to fight against Ryu and Ken?
Would that, do you think that's possible? Jose, what do you think about Mortal Kombat entering Smash?
Man, I'm not even going to say that it's not possible, because I had about like 50 people roast the hell out of me on Twitter, and because I said that like Joker's not coming. So you know what? I think it's definitely possible. That would be the first third-party Western character that's not like, or first say, like Western third-party character in there. So I think it's possible. I think it's definitely possible, man.
Snake's a third-party Western character.
No, he's Japanese.
Snake's Japanese.
Is he?
Kojima made him.
Kojima Konami. He's Japanese.
Yeah. He
looks like a Western dude, though.
Yeah, he just seems so American.
Yeah,
The first game takes place in Alaska. Come on.
That would actually be really cool, though. To see, I mean, Mortal Kombat is like legendary status in gaming.
So, actually, Chad just did a super chat based on what I was about to say. He says, Ganondorf for Mortal Kombat 11, please. You think they're going to pull a Soul Calibur and every console that it's on gets exclusive fighters?
Here's the thing about any of the Nintendo characters being Mortal Kombat 11. That means you are giving them the right to dismember and murder your character.
No, not true. Because I read a big article on Mortal Kombat versus DC, and they said that they could do whatever they want. They were just not allowed to make the superheroes look heroic. That's the word.
Superhuman. Heroic.
Like you can't mess with Superman's hair, and you can't destroy the S. Those were like some of the only things.
Dude, but I mean, that's DC allow Link to get his neck ripped off. Like that's just it's not happening.
I'm so excited for this. So Injustice 2 was by far one of my favorite games last year. Injustice 2, I'm actually in the trailer for it. I talked so highly of it. They put my quote in their trailer. So the fact that they're creating something new now, oh my gosh, I'm so hyped out of my mind.
Wasn't Mortal Kombat versus DC rated T anyways?
It was teen rated.
Well, and only certain characters, like Austin was saying, like only certain characters were allowed to kill other characters. Like literally, DC would say, okay, that character can do a fatality if they're against this person. This person can do a fatality against that person. It was so dumb.
I think you could decapitate Joker, but not Superman.
Yeah, and Superman couldn't laser beam kill anybody, but he would do like knockout attacks for his finishers. It was so dumb.
I want to quickly touch on a super chat from Shuni11 who said Splatoon 2 should have been best ongoing game.
Yes.
I heard about this. A lot of people talked about that. And I wanted to touch on that because we passed 10 o'clock hour, but a lot of people were talking about that, about Splatoon 2 getting ongoing game. I'm not as into Splatoon, but I do know it's been getting constant updates because you talk about it, Max, all the time.
Huge ones. Not even counting the fact that it had a bunch of free updates, and then it had the giant DLC, which basically added like 200 challenge missions that were crazy new and different and super fun, and new character classes, like the new weapons, tons of weapons and outfits. It's so nuts that they wouldn't put that in there. I mean, maybe it's too niche, or I guess it's just that none of the judges knew about it, but dang.
Yeah, it's interesting because they put like something like No Man's Sky in there, but not Splatoon 2.
Yeah, that's why I think it was like a shit. Because like
No Man's Sky's been in the news a lot more.
The game sold like 7 to 8 million copies. You can't say that it's not because people didn't have the game or people didn't play the game. The game is super popular.
I mean the judges. So the thing is like, because the whole thing is the people who voted on the Game Awards were actually given a blank piece of paper and they had to write down 5 suggestions for every category. And a lot of them are just like big reviewers at IGN, GameSpot, Kotaku, and stuff like that. And those aren't the people like me or maybe you, OJ, who are going back and be like, oh man, there's a new patch that has an ink roller that shoots out cum. I'm gonna go freaking install it and try it.
that would be some that would
might be tough for
Nintendo on that one. But you know what? That's a good suggestion though, Dreamcast.
Those headlines.
So yeah, Mortal Kombat 11 though, all platforms. I guess that means it's Unreal Engine 4, like that rumor was stating as well. So
good to see. It was my pick of the show. I've pre-ordered it already on the Switch.
What did you guys like the trailer with the music and everything?
Yes.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
me too.
I like music video trailers. I like those.
Well, like Ed Boon seems to really like having like rap and hip hop music over his trailers. So it worked. I think it worked really well.
Does Ed Boon have more street cred than me?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I mean, the Mortal Kombat 11 trailer went up on World Star as well, and they didn't say shit about Ed Boon. Meanwhile, I got fucking crucified.
Ed Boon is so full of himself. He put a fighter in his game that's his name backwards.
Yep. And no one said a thing to him. They were like, "Yep, all right, makes sense."
People were like, "Love Noob Saibot."
Yeah,
well, it was and Tobias. Don't forget, it was both of those guys.
Oh yeah.
Ed Boon and John Tobias.
That's great. Crash Team Racing. I was happy about that too. They spoiled it with they sent fuzzy dice to different outlets and kind of ruined that one because it was similar to the purple egg that they sent out for Spyro. But Crash Team Racing is awesome. I am really happy, and that's also coming pretty soon. That's coming in June.
All platforms.
All platforms. Yes, that is. So this is a situation the Switch owners have been dealing with where Spyro is on the Xbox and the PS4, but not the Switch. right now anyway. And then Crash came later, although that was timed exclusive. We figured that out pretty easily. But this is one of those situations where we see Mortal Kombat, we see that maybe the developers are starting to kind of get caught up with some of their dev cycles. That's
There
something
was
a lot of people are thinking.
2019 was always the goal year where you were going to see more day-to-day releases for Switch with the PS4 and Xbox One versions. That was always the goal. Way back in 2017, developers were saying it. Nintendo said it. So we're finally just seeing it come full circle where the games are going to be releasing same day on Switch.
That makes sense. You got to give it some time, and I guess that's what 2019 is. What two years then? That we're in 2 full years now, going into the 3rd year. So
the question,
Crash Team Racing just made me sad and made me realize that we are never ever going to get a new Diddy Kong Racing.
So the question I actually have for y'all that I'm very curious about is Crash Team Racing is coming out in a different time now where, like, obviously Mario Kart 8 is huge. It's got 64 tracks and multiple modes and stuff. Do you think that this is just going to be a straight up remaster of the versions we already had? Or do you think they're going to try and create a bunch of new tracks?
I don't think that they can release just a remaster.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They need to put content into it.
Yeah, it depends on how they build it too, though. Like if they rebuild it like Spyro, I guess they could. But if they do what they did with because wasn't the Crash Bandicoot collection, didn't they essentially just build over the old game basically?
Yeah, they had the wireframes exactly. So they were able to just put new textures.
So what if they just do that? Then they're really not going to put anything new in it.
I think that's what they're going to do because it's a budget release. It's
I
not
agree.
a full $60.
I think it's just going to be it's going to have a new coat of paint on it.
As long as it has online. Like if it's online, we're good, right? Like
I'm sure it'll have online. I'm curious. I hope we get a battle mode, and I really hope we get at least 5 or 6 new characters. I'd love to see, they did a port of it to Game Boy Advance later on, and it had Spyro in it as a secret character. I hope we at least get Spyro in there.
That would be a cool little crossover there to have Spyro.
Crash Team Racing is confirmed online and offline. So.
Okay, cool.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and it has adventure, arcade, cup, time trials, battle.
That's gonna be awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing a lot of that. Love
the
that
adventure mode is really dope. Like I remember I actually played that game super late. I played that game when I was in college, like 2007 or something like that.
Okay.
Like Andre had it, and that was the first time that I played the game, and I was like, "Yo, this game's actually balanced. I'm not getting freaking obliterated like randomly like freaking Mario Kart." So yeah, man, I actually really liked and enjoyed what I played of it. Like the time that that I got to play.
It was good. It was fun. It was fun. And then we had this interesting announcement where apparently there's a new DLC character for Smash. And OJ, who is that? Apparently people were asking about that. They're like, OJ, what were you saying about that Smash character?
Oh man, Joker from Persona 5. And I lost, I run a PG channel, and you know what? It went to PG real quick, PG-13 real quick.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my gosh, it blew me away. I had no idea. He was coming. I never saw it coming. So
this
you'll
is
never see it coming. There you go. Get the pun in there right now.
Where they're bringing Joker from Persona 5. That means music is also showing up on a stage.
Yes, stage and music, and it's going to be glorious.
So
Persona has some of the best music ever.
Yes, Persona 5 has some outstanding music, some great tracks. So if they bring some of those tracks over, or on top of the over 1,000 tracks is in Smash right now.
Can we take a hot second and talk about the music in Smash?
Yeah.
It is do you guys have the full rip, the 8 gigabyte rip?
8 gigabytes.
No.
It's 8.4 gigabytes in 320 kilobit per second MP3s. And it's hard to decipher how it's all put together, but I kind of started putting it together. So like for Mario, there's 70 tracks. For Zelda, there's 23 tracks, and some are direct rips of the original. You have Saria or Saria's theme, the Lost Woods theme. You have the original N64 rip, and then you have all the original synths, but with brand new percussion on top of it. Yeah. And then you'll have a reprise of all of the Zelda songs put together with little melodies of the chest opening and stuff. And they'll also include just how they put all the stuff together. It's amazing. Dude, Final Fantasy only got 2 songs, which sucks. It's just 2 of the themes.
That was sad. I was so happy with all the Pokemon love. Like the fact that there was like a totally redone orchestra piece of the original Pokemon theme. Like just
there's like 7 or 8 of those.
Yeah, and it's so cool when you play on like a Pokemon stage and it randomly just starts doing the it's just like, holy God, this is so lit.
Yeah. And like that, well, we just got all of the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee remakes, which those aren't in there, but the remakes in Smash are better than the remakes in Let's Go. Hands down. Like I sat down and I listened to these with headphones on and the studio monitors, and I'm like, this is actually, fun fact, I just went to the store and bought a better speaker for my gaming setup here, because I just had like a little monitor for streaming, but I bought a pair of Bose Companions. That way, while I'm playing Smash, I get like the full sound, because I realized I wasn't doing it justice.
Yeah, I still need to unlock, because apparently you have to buy more tracks and like the little vault and everything. There's just a lot of the amount of music is insane. Like we laughed at the people walked around with their Switch as an MP3 player. I at least kind of understand now.
Totally understand.
It's amazing. But Joker in Smash is surprising, because that's a Persona 5 crossover.
Dude, now I just want Persona 5 on Switch so damn bad.
That's the big conversation that's coming up now, is Persona 5 in on the Switch.
So who here you beat Persona 5 too, right, OJ?
Yeah, hell yeah, I did.
Yeah, dude,
it's amazing. Yeah, but
it took me 99 hours, I think. I want that on Switch so bad, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of people take usually 100 or so hours to beat it. Yeah. So it's a long game. It takes a while.
I took about 80 something, not doing everything. So
yeah.
It's a long game, so that actually makes a lot of sense to show up on the Switch. Now there's a rumor that's been started. Now the rumor shows up after Joker shows up, of course, in Smash, not before, apparently.
Right.
But there's a rumor apparently it's been started up that it would be Persona 5 like Reloaded or so, because they found the URL.
Ruby Persona 5.
That's what it was, Ruby.
Yeah. Persona, but there was a rumor that I covered last year, I think, about Persona 5 on Switch. So there was a rumor about that, but it got shut down immediately by one of the PR people here in America,
right,
with Atlas. So
was that, I think I saw that video, OJ. Was that the one that was called Crimson Edition or something like that? It was something. It was something the same Ruby-ish name.
Yeah, Crimson or Ruby. Yeah. You're right. It was something like that. So I mean, this is the second time that it's come up. It was just that everybody just kind of stopped talking about it because of what the dude from Atlas said. But overall, super excited that potentially it could be coming over. Reggie Fils-Aimé was interviewed about it, and he just said, I can't talk about that right now. You know, he was asked, like, is it going to come over? He just said, I can't talk about it. So
well, do you remember Sakurai mentioned that it was Nintendo who picked all these DLC characters?
Yes.
So it makes you wonder if they're like, let's build some bridges for some of these business relationships.
And like, I didn't play the game, but I saw a friend of mine stream it, and it doesn't look that graphic intense.
It was on the PS3.
It's on PS3. Yeah.
Persona 5 was on the PS3.
Yep.
Yeah. It was cheaper too.
Oh, great. So the Switch can handle it.
Oh yeah.
It looks like
PS3.
It looks identical to the PS3 and the PS4 version are pretty much the same. It's a PS3 game. Yep. The game was built on PS3. It's a PS3 game that they ended up saying, oh, well, we need to put it on PS4 as well. But the game, I mean, the only difference is 1080p.
Yes,
1080p and 720p.
Is it on the Unreal Engine?
No, it's on their own in-house engine that they have.
Yeah.
Oh, then that could take a while.
But it's also interesting because, like, Chad's rant here says Persona 4 Golden would be an easy Switch port. That's because Persona 4 Golden was on the Vita.
Yeah.
But they don't have a Vita 2 to put possibly Persona 5 on, for example. So maybe they'd want to explore the handheld space with the Switch a bit.
Well, the problem with the Persona franchise is that Sony has always had the mainline Persona games as exclusive. There has never been a mainline Persona game on any other platform. And there's a belief that Sony has a deal with Atlas that they exclusively have the rights to the mainline Persona titles. So unless that deal has come to an end and the contract is now void, something has to be worked out to get Persona 5, Persona 4, any Persona title over to the Switch.
Well, I think that something had to have changed because, like, all the Persona games were going to the PSP and the Vita as well. They were like little, like, you know, they changed.
Yeah, but that's still Sony.
But that's what I mean. I feel like maybe Sega and Atlas were like comfortable with that, or Atlas is comfortable with that because they have that handheld in Japan, but they don't have it anymore.
Yeah, well, and the biggest thing here, I think, is Persona 4 Golden, I want to say, was like the third highest selling PS Vita game.
Yeah.
It was something crazy. And so because of it, like those numbers are enormous. Like, obviously,
Yeah.
I think they're going to try and find whatever deal they got to sign, sell their soul to the devil. They're going to try and put a full Persona game on Switch.
I think you're right. Just that handheld space just be going missing now for them because Sony's not talking about another handheld. So.
I think the biggest thing with Persona is that the way that it's played, there's a lot of downtime. There's a lot of just doing nothing or just like sitting in a room and then the music plays and like you kind of just like soak it up. And it's fun to play on a handheld. And if you look at the ratios of how it's sold, I mean, you know, PlayStation with Persona 5, it was on an install base of over 100 million if you count PS3 and you know whatever. And ratio wise, Persona 4 Golden sold extremely well for the tiny install base of the you know of the Vita. So I mean, I think that the way that the style of the game that it's just played, like it would fit the Switch really well, being able just like to chill. I actually beat the game on my Vita playing remote play. That's how I played pretty much. I couldn't stand it. So I just went out and bought a Vita. We rebought a Vita and just like chilled on my bed. I mean, and played the game remote play. So, you know, I think that maybe if they can get that done, that'd be cool.
So what you're saying is Persona 5 would be a great game for long intervals or quick on-the-go experiences.
So like a commercial. Cut that audio.
That's what you're saying, right?
Well, it'd be good to. I like Persona 4 Golden. That's my favorite Vita game. You know, I like. I also played Persona 3 as well. You know, portably. I've pretty much played all of them that way, and I'd like to continue playing them that way if I can. This is the first time that I've actually played a Persona game like this, and then had to play the whole thing, or at least starting to play it on my TV, and I just couldn't take it, so I had to just buy a Vita and just play remote play that way.
Did
So
you play Persona Q Shadow of Labyrinth on the 3DS?
I do. I have the wildcard edition. I did play and beat that. Yeah. Or Persona, the first Persona. Persona Q2 is that has Joker in it, and that has Persona 5 characters, but it's not out yet here in the States, so I can't buy it and play it. But I'll check it out when it comes out.
What are those, by the way? Like, I'm a Persona fan, and I have no idea what the hell those Q games are. What are they?
They're basically just, I would say, a spin-off where they just take the cast of characters from the different, like Persona 3, like Persona Q, that had the first one had like Persona 3 characters in there, and it kind of just puts it in a different type of like world. Like they get like sucked into kind of like a different dimension or whatever, and like different scenarios, but they're not mainline Persona games.
Are they silly RPGs or dating games or what?
No, it's an RPG. It plays just like like Shin Megami Tensei.
Okay,
yeah. It plays like Shin Megami Tensei, like on the 3DS. It plays like that, where it's first person, and then like when you do attacks, like it'll zoom out and go into third person on some of them. But you attack in like first person, like you see the enemies that way, and like it's kind of like reminds me of like it's like labyrinths and dungeons, and you kind of go through and
still thing where I have to like go to school during the day and then do dungeons at night. Or do they cut that out?
Not so much the school stuff. No, that's not the same.
Good. Hell yeah.
So what you're saying is the Q series is kind of like Final Fantasy X-2.
We don't bring up the cursed one.
You don't like 10-2?
No. I think that it has some smart design elements to it, but it's not a good game.
So it's more like 13-2 or 13-3.
Oh God, I'm about to leave this.
I actually really enjoyed 13-3.
Oh God,
what's a 13-3? You mean Lightning Returns?
Yeah, have you seen?
Yeah, 13-3.
You call it 13-3?
Well, because that's what it was. You ever see that meme where it says Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13, and it shows her carrying it into a GameStop with a receipt?
I actually liked 13, just the regular 13. But
I think they're all kind of bad, but I played them all
really bad.
13-2 was the one with the time paradoxes, right?
Yeah, where God comes down and lets you rewind time to save.
I just like
that was 13-3.
Oh yeah.
Wow, spoilers. Thanks.
Did anyone try 13 when it went to the Xbox One X as a backwards compatible?
No, I should have. I actually only own them on PS3.
Oh. See, I tried it because it's only like $10 on the store anyway for the X, but it looks really good in 4K and everything. Nate, did you have anything you wanted to talk about with Persona or the character being there? We were just being really loud and all over the place. I don't know if you had any opinion on it or anything before we moved on.
I mean, it's a cool addition. I think the timing of the rumor is just suspect that you waited till after the fact to be like, oh yeah, maybe this game, because everyone was thinking, oh, maybe this means Persona 5 will come to Switch. And then all of a sudden a rumor comes up, just like everyone's like, oh, Final Fantasy 7 could come to Wii U. Metal Gear Solid could come to Wii.
Oh yeah.
The characters don't really mean anything. But I mean, there's always a chance that Persona 5 could find its way to the Switch if Nintendo is able to work out a deal.
Yeah.
And hey, who knows? I mean, the Switch is doing things no one really expected.
I think it's an interesting position with Sony not having a handheld, and I'm sure Atlas wants some version of their Persona game on a handheld in Japan, but it just seems like a lot of money that they would lose if they couldn't do it. So
this seems really funny because I feel like we would be having the exact same conversation if they announced that Persona 5 was coming out for the Switch, and people would say that we're going to get Joker and Smash.
Yeah, actually, we would be having that because that's why it wasn't on the radar, because no one thought about Persona 5 with the Switch at all. So it's like, oh, well, one of their characters is going to be on there. Now everyone's talking about it being on the Switch. So yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Why not?
Also, another thing, just to note real quick before we move on, Nintendo doesn't reference Persona Q2 when they talk about if you go on the news section, they just say critically acclaimed Persona 5, Joker is coming. So they don't, even though Joker is a playable character in Persona Q2, they don't reference that game at all on the announcement of their.
Was it like an upfront character, or was it like a hidden character?
Joker, he's right there. That's part of the thing with Persona Q2 is like
he's on the cover, isn't he?
Yeah, he's right there. You get to use him. It's not like he's hidden or anything. He's a big part of the game. Has dialogue and everything in there. So yeah, and they don't reference it at all when they announce on the news section like, "Hey, Joker's coming." They say Persona 5. They say critically acclaimed. They don't say the system critically acclaimed on the PS4.
Persona 2 came out in 2000.
Q2 or.
I'm googling here. Okay, give me some. What year did Q2 come out?
Q2 just came out in Japan just recently.
What?
Yeah, it came out the 29th of November.
But Q4 or whatever for Persona 3 just came out for. I don't understand this.
I think you're confused, Austin.
Numbers are an illusion. Just real quick, can we just say congratulations? Because Joker's voice actor is also the announcer voice in Smash, right?
Yeah.
And so for the first time ever, this guy is actually getting to like do real voices in the game besides just fire.
I think he doesn't he.
Wait, Xander?
Doesn't he voice Master Hand also?
Yeah. And so that's the thing is, and people are already drawing the meme where it shows Joker putting on the glove and then pointing at Master Hand and Master Hand being the glove and pointing back like, I know you.
Yeah. I wonder if that had anything to do with I might be thinking too much into that.
Yeah.
That probably explains why the reveal trailer was fully voice acted.
Yep. It was this whole like, hey, look, it's this guy.
Also,
project.
It's pretty clear they didn't have any of it. Like when he said we're just starting these characters, it's pretty clear because they didn't show any in-game assets or gameplay or anything of Joker.
Well,
so.
that's also what makes me think the rumor of the Persona 5, not to say the game is not coming, but the rumor itself that came out, they said, they're going to announce the game when Joker comes out in April. They don't even have renders for this character ready yet. I don't see that game coming. I don't see Joker coming out in the next 4 months.
Well, he's the first
April in the rumor.
And then Reggie said that this is how they're going to announce the fighters.
Well, they if they did in April, I mean, this is the first DLC. How many? They're doing 5, right? So if they're doing it over the next,
there are 2 DLCs of 5 characters each.
Well, I thought it was just 5. I thought it was a fighter's pass, and there's 5 new characters.
5 total new characters.
Yeah,
just 5 total new characters.
And,
that's it.
And if they're going to do that, over the next year and a half to 2 years, they would have to bring the first DLC, not soon, but soon-ish, wouldn't they? Like in the next 4 or 5 months.
I would think it would be at least 3 months or so after Piranha Plant. So it could be somewhere in that time frame of April to May.
Yeah, because Piranha Plant's February, right?
February, yeah.
Yeah, because they already had renders and gameplay obviously to show. So that makes sense. So he's like ready to go. Steven Super Chat says, any talk of bringing back Stage Creator on Smash?
I want it, but I mean, to be honest, if I recall correctly, people only used it to remake the maps they missed anyways, and now we have every single map in one, so I'm not sure too many people would use it.
Let me Persona Q, this is from Chad again. Persona Q equals Etrian Odyssey. I don't think I played much of Etrian Odyssey.
I just re-listened to Reggie's speech. He says this gives you a flavor of how we're going to be approaching the DLC.
I enjoy flavor.
And we could all be content creators and read way too much into that now.
I mean, it really shows that you really can't count anybody out. Like, that's like...
Steven Banjo confirmed?
Yeah, I still think we're going to get Banjo.
I mean, honestly, at this point, I can't say no to any of these things.
A lot of people are thinking that they're not going to do Banjo because it seems obvious at this point. But to me, it's still I still highly 100%. I believe we're going to see Banjo personally.
Everyone wants Banjo. Everyone needs Banjo.
It'll be interesting. Any other thoughts on the Game Awards, guys?
Do we address the elephant in the room?
Oh, that Metroid wasn't there?
do we address that or?
Hey man, I already made a video on that.
Yeah, swallow the pill, Nate.
I put out a huge thing. I put out a huge thing on Twitter.
You did.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
The trilogy is real.
I don't believe you.
I talked when it comes out next year.
Man, that thing better be at the January Game Awards. That's be hanging over us till then.
I mean, it's
or the
just
January Direct.
I mean, I talked to editors from major sites, and as soon as the Game Awards ended, they messaged me. They're like, "I'm confused right now because we were expecting." I mean, people even said IGN on their podcast. They're all like, "Yeah, Metroid Trilogy is going to be at the Game Awards."
I think that they didn't want to take away from Smash that night, and I think Direct in January where they'll reveal something, or February.
So do y'all think they cut it at the last minute, that was part of the lineup, and at the very end they were like,
I know for a fact that plans change in the Game Awards, not necessarily with Metroid Prime Trilogy, but certain games did get cut.
Yeah, and as soon as I saw
for it,
Reggie wearing his Smash shirt, I was like, I don't feel like Metroid's coming tonight. I don't think it's happening.
But wasn't he in a Ridley Smash shirt?
Yeah,
he was. Yeah.
Like, here's a picture for the Game Awards. Metroid. Oh, I'm at the Game Awards. Ridley. Is Metroid here? Fuck you.
To be fair, they had three different trailers for Smash throughout the Game Awards.
Did y'all see that? By the way, that dude who had the reaction was like one of the biggest Animal Crossing fans. And they showed like the characters come up and she's like fishing. Lucinda, or I'm spaced on her name. Isabel. Yeah, Isabel.
And then Mario shows up and hits her in the face with a fireball.
And this dude was like, yes. Like, I saw a reaction video. He's like, yes, they're showing us the gameplay of Animal Crossing. And then Mario showed up.
Yeah, I know, that was funny.
And he goes, man, screw Smash Brothers. I love that.
I think we flew too close to the sun with the Metroid stuff, but
I mean,
also,
it's just the game. The game is real. It's coming out next year.
Yeah, it is. It is coming out next year. So they have to talk about it at some point. Sometime soon, hopefully. January, please. Nintendo January.
Yeah,
I don't want to go too long after all that.
Do January just so it's over with.
Yeah.
Tiny note. Meant to talk about this before, since I've done most of the spirits in the game. Mallow is a spirit, but Gino is not.
I thought Gino was a spirit.
I haven't found him.
I thought they said.
I thought they showed him in the trailer, right?
I believe
Spirit.
Gino's in either an assist or a me outfit.
Because when they showed the trailer, if you go back and watch it at during that last one with Incineroar and everything, they showed Gino as a spirit in the menu.
I'm looking at him right now. Gino's spirit.
He's definitely he's a spirit, right?
Yeah, he's like
spirit. Gino is a spirit. Gino is a spirit. I'm just reading the chat. Gino is a spirit. He is a spirit.
Oh, yes, there's Gino.
Gino is a spirit.
He's like he's nowhere near where Mallow was. Okay.
So yes, everyone's in the chat. Yes, Metroid Prime Trilogy.
Sorry, chat. Sorry.
Is a thing. It just wasn't a thing for the Game Awards, is what we're saying. So
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm playing it right now. You guys are all frauds.
So hopefully it's set for their obvious January Direct that they do. We all pretty much know there's a January Direct coming up. So hopefully that's what they have it set for there, and hopefully it's an early 2019 release. That's what I want, is just do that. So
Same.
Yes, and I would like to see some Metroid Prime 4 gameplay, please. Can we do that? I'd like that. Suppa Sandwich says Smash sales figures, numbers, predictions.
12.
I assume that's Media Create, because I don't. That's the only thing we're gonna know numbers for next week is Media Create. They probably won't even tell us numbers on the UK.
Unless Nintendo says something.
Yeah, come Monday, you're getting a press release.
Yeah, I mean it's gotta be more than Pokemon.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you think it's 4-5 million somewhere in there between 4 and 5?
If we get a press release on Monday, I say 6.
I'm gonna bet 5, and I'm just pulling that out of my butt from personal experience of the fact that like everybody I know is definitely playing it. I mean, it definitely seems like it's 5 million.
That's obscene, by the way. If it's 5 million, that's a lot of copies of a game to sell in like 3 days.
5 million. I'm thinking I bought like 1 million of them, so I think I'm sure everybody else picked up the slack. So
yeah, I mean, I think everyone on here bought a copy. So I'm trying to think. Everyone online's playing it.
Yeah, the entire chat was saying, a lot of people were saying they bought 2. I saw several people say they bought it digitally so they could play it right away, and they got a second one in the mail.
I was about to say, at least everyone here bought at least 1 copy.
Yeah. So I guess I will have to go get that Smash controller though. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow.
Dude, it's great. I love it.
Add it to my collection of controllers at this rate.
It's so solid. I'm literally going back and replaying other games I've already owned.
Okay. Let me go over one last piece of news, and we can do some Q&A before we finish up. Once again, you have everybody on the panel right now is down in the description. You can check out their channels there. Let's see. We also had. Did you guys see the posting by? It was on Thurrott.com about the next Xbox Scarlet.
I did not.
They had
another posting.
Yeah, they had some spec rumors from Brad Sams. He's the one who also reported about the discless Xbox One that's set to launch next year. We're thinking April, May-ish, somewhere in there in spring. He reported basically it's going to be using next-gen Zen 2 and AMD power GPUs targeting 4K at 60.
So who are you calling discless?
So they're basically going for a better CPU for the most part. So we won't have that junky Jaguar successor or something. So basically 4K 60 though.
This is probably, 99% chance we're all thinking this is going to be like the Xbox Ultra Slim they came out with or whatever. Remember the final Xbox 360 was like this big and was made to last forever, and then they just dropped it. Is that what this probably is?
Yeah. Here's the thing about this though. It says it's Zen 2, but the reports for the next PlayStation is like regular, like I guess first generation Zen. So is the Xbox coming up the next one? Are we thinking it's going to be more powerful than the PlayStation that's coming up?
The rumors say yes. I don't believe it. A lot of the people are saying that it's going to have 20 teraflops.
Oh no, I don't think it's going to have 20 teraflops. Yeah. I think if it comes out like that, I think the PlayStation will be like 12, and you might see like the Xbox have like 14 or something if it got to that. Or maybe 11 and 13. I don't think it'll be a massive difference.
Yeah. Well, the main thing I'm hearing is PS5. The main people keep circulating is PS5 12, and a lot of people are saying the Xbox 2 will be 20. And I just do not.
I don't even believe it. Unless it's like $500, $600 or something.
Well, yeah, I know. And it's like, it's also, I feel like that leap is so enormous that development would be catching up to it for a long time.
I also think Sony would be, look at the raw teraflop numbers. They would consider like toning it down a bit so that they could add in some stuff for VR to make that less cumbersome. Because I don't know how many of you guys have PlayStation VR, but I don't like hooking it up.
I do. I mean, I have one, but I hate hooking it up too.
Yeah. So what if it was just like just a single visor that you put on, no camera, none of that?
That would be awesome.
Yes, because I'd like to keep playing more Astrobot, but I'm like, I don't want to hook that thing up.
I want like
Isn't Facebook making that?
Yes.
They Facebook has made, I have it around here somewhere. They made the Oculus Go, and they're making the Santa, what is that called? Oculus Santa, what is that called? It might be, I think it's coming out next year.
Yeah, they
Santa Cruz.
They clued me in on something going on with that, being part of Facebook gaming. Yay, I get to know about a VR headset. And it seems cool that it just has accelerometers built into it, and you don't need to have because that's the one thing keeping me from doing VR. In my office where I have an area that's 14 by 12, I could set it up and I could play Beat Saber and actually enjoy myself. But here, I'm going to knock over things and games.
Yeah. Especially because, dude, Beat Saber is so good, but Beat Saber physically requires you to move around in space while playing it. And yeah, I'll definitely, I've kicked many a table while playing it.
It's so Oculus Santa Cruz is the one that's coming out first quarter next year. So I guess sometime before April, I guess it should be out. And that's supposed to be all built in, but it's a step up from the Oculus Go that I have. But the Go was actually $200, whereas this one's coming out, it's going to be $400. So it's a bit more expensive. The Go is actually kind of neat for what it is. I will say that. It's actually kind of cool. I don't really use it, but it's kind of neat. But the PlayStation VR, I want that to become next generation.
And I think it will. I mean, I don't think they're going to disregard it for the next gen. I think they're really going to invest into it and continue it. Because, I mean, it's been pretty successful, all things considered, with a lot of the games they've sold, especially in the last 12 months. They've sold some really good, a lot of games, and a lot of good games have come out for the VR. So I think they're going to continue to push that.
It's interesting you mentioned that because I believe their software sales are actually pretty good for being about 3 million users.
Yep.
I think it's actually pretty good. And it is, of course, the best-selling VR headset out there right now. So
and Ace Combat's coming out next year. I'm looking forward to that. I'll definitely pick that one up too.
Which one is?
Ace Combat.
Oh, yeah. That's the one. I keep talking about that by Bandai. Yeah, Ace Combat's going to be cool. I think it's only like, the problem is, I remember, I think it's like 3 or 4 missions in VR.
Really?
Yeah, I read that in the press release they sent me, and I was just like, oh, come on. I remember I got really annoyed because I don't know if you played Gran Turismo in VR. Massive letdown. When I got it, I thought I was playing everything.
So it's one of those PlayStation VR, not preferred, but one of those ones where it has a mode where you can play it on.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool, but like it's not like Resident Evil 7 where you play the whole game in VR.
Oh, dude, that was awesome. Yeah.
It was great, but then remember the DLC didn't support VR, if I remember correctly. So it's one of these where I still hear that VR development is surprisingly tricky. You sort of have to redo so much of UI work and movement work.
I think the movement work is the big thing. You can't just use the existing movement that you have. I mean,
because your character isn't just a head on stilts. Instead, you have to actually program all those parts of articulation you might actually do.
Yeah.
Yes, it's something I would like to see evolve quickly, but it's VR is taking a little longer to move along. But Sony, I think, can push it along if they build it into their console, like the rumors are talking about. So the one thing they can't do though is I don't think they can package it in like Microsoft did with the Kinect. I think it has to be separate so they can get that $400 price point.
Yeah, if they pack it in like they did with the Kinect, it's game over. Yeah. They cannot do that.
Because the word is that Microsoft is showing up with a cheaper model as well as an expensive model. So they would be in a lot of trouble if they were $500 with the VR headset built in, like to the box, basically, with it.
I just found my favorite quote from Gabe talking about VR. And he says, "We're optimistic. We think VR is going great. It's going a way that's consistent with our expectations. We're also pretty comfortable that the idea that it's going to turn out a complete failure."
So that's the next Xbox and the PlayStation. By the way, they say it's targeting 2020. Shocker, but it could also be 2020 in like April, maybe. So March, you never know.
So what games do you think? Obviously, the next Gears of War and probably Forza 8 will be
for the Xbox.
Yeah, the Scarlet.
Okay. Let's say Perfect Dark and Fable.
Ooh, Perfect Dark. I'll take that.
I think Jade Empire comes back.
I think I think the Initiative is working on Perfect Dark. That would be cool. I'd be alright with that.
I figured what's it called? The Continuum. What are they called? The people who made Gears of War, the Gears of War remake. Coalition. Yeah, I think Coalition might be working on it. I'm actually pretty dang certain that Coalition is working on Perfect Dark.
Interesting.
Wait a minute. So they're working on Perfect Dark and they're working on the new Gears of War?
Yes. Well, but Gears 5, I hear they're trying to do a lot of different stuff. Gears 5.
The Coalition is really good at rolling into to help a studio out for different things. Remember they helped with PUBG. So
that's right. I forgot about that.
They could be helping with a Perfect Dark. I can see that. But the Initiative is being built up for something really massive right now.
Nobody has any faith that Rare is making Perfect Dark.
Rare would not touch Perfect Dark. They'd be like, "Look, go back and do the Sea of Thieves." All right.
I'm sorry.
that $250 million acquisition from Nintendo is really paying off right now.
You were naming all these different studios, then Rare's like, "What about
I'm not even letting Rare make Banjo-Kazooie. Like, come on, like Banjo-Kazooie. I feel like would have actually sold fairly. Okay, it would have done all right. I think. I don't know how well it would have done.
Didn't we create Perfect Dark over there? Like, shut up, Rare. Nobody's talking to you.
Go back to the ocean.
We're pretty sure that Microsoft's going to have some decent launch titles and then titles throughout year 2 and 3 already ready to go. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun, actually. because Sony's actually been kind of pushed in their first party department, so it'll be fun. But I hope they bring back like I said, like Fable and Perfect Dark and stuff. I hope they do Perfect Dark right. So that's why I want the initiative to do it, because they are. I don't know if you guys keep seeing the talent they're hiring. They're hiring some ridiculous people right now to fund that studio, like to build it.
My question is, what would be Perfect Dark done right? Would it be like Call of Duty and Battlefield? Would it be like a modern first-person shooter like that?
The rumors are third person.
Third person, yeah.
Yeah, my fantasy is that it's sort of a modernized, sort of gritty version of GoldenEye 64. Something that's very corridor focused and has lots of different, really eccentric weapons, but doesn't really treat itself too goofy.
Well, you said corridor focused, as in hallway focused.
Yeah, but I mean that's the way a lot of shooters are. That's the way it's even phrased. Even if you're in an open area, but the point is to walk in one direction, a lot of times they call that corridor design.
I would say based on the hires that they're making for the initiative, it sounds like the initiative is building a narrative-driven game similar to like an Uncharted. Is it just based on the people they're hiring?
That's what I think the next Perfect Dark will be.
like
She better be thick.
No, like an Uncharted.
Like an Uncharted, yeah, something similar like that. Yeah,
I would like it. Maybe it's made even like a Tomb Raider type, like the reboot, Tomb Raider reboot. Maybe it's kind of made like that. I would personally like that. Like Uncharted, my only issue is like there's no like skill tree or anything like that. Like I would like it to where they add something like that. So that'd be like what ideal Uncharted style of gameplay. Maybe add some skill trees and stuff that Tomb Raider has.
Yeah, they got people
in jungle either. Like a proper setting.
Yeah,
that's my concern.
They hired people from Naughty Dog and everything over there, so the initiative is rolling right now. I'm ready. We're probably not going to see what they're working on for like 2 years, but I'm ready to see it now. So maybe Microsoft gets a little antsy and announces it at E3 next year. And the last topic we're going to talk about after I read this one is from Zildjian. He said, I want Postal 2 on the Switch so bad. I don't think I ever played Postal 2. That's on Steam, but I never played it.
It will never happen. Epic owns the rights to Postal 2.
Fuck, I remember Postal.
They will not give them.
And MV, you remember that really well, don't you, Postal 2?
Yep. Yeah, it's an awesome game. I love it. Epic owns the rights to Postal. So I don't know how they ended up with it, but they own it. And that's
They go on their Epic Games store then, I guess.
Probably.
Yeah.
Check it out.
It's on Steam right now for $1. There you go.
Demetrius, I just love your voice. Can we do a podcast together?
Sure, man. Yeah, let me know.
I don't care what we talk about. We could talk about. We could actually. You know what? Let me rephrase that. Can I just hire you to read all of the most savage tweets by Wendy's?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. You know what we should do?
I would pay money for that.
He's like, this has been another roast.
Spawnway, you should get Woods on as well and have me and him talking at the same time.
Wood, he won't say it, but he lurks in our chat all the time on this podcast. He's probably
in here right now because I'm talking to him on Facebook.
He just wants to hear us mention his name. Wood, beat him ups, yeah, baby.
I thought he was sick. I don't know if he's better now, but that PlayStation and that and Ark almost killed him. So it was bad. Tippy Craft actually asked about what studio would I like to see Fable be worked on. Probably Playground. I'd like to see him take a shot at it with help from Obsidian. Let's see. The last topic was
I just put a Wendy's tweet. Would you read that?
Did you put it in the?
I agree. Yeah, it's a good one.
Did you put it in the chat?
Yeah,
no, he put it in. He put it in the Google Hangouts private thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you'll still use frozen beef in most of your burgers in all of your restaurants? Asking for a friend.
It's at McDonald's.
At McDonald's. Yeah. 10 out of 10.
Zildjian also asked, I want to do a podcast with you, MVG, as well. See, you're already popular, man. You're on this podcast now. Everyone wants to get you on theirs.
You're the hotness.
Yeah. Scott says, do you think that Sony is going to try and compete with Microsoft's cloud streaming service? I can at least see an attempt at their own Game Pass.
They've invested, I think, $11 million or something. There's a specific number of how much they've invested in PlayStation Now, And I don't think they're making any of that back. So I think if anything, they're just going to keep pushing PS Now harder and harder and harder.
Well, PlayStation Now kind of is their Game Pass because you can download some games now.
Yeah.
It's just expensive. Like Game Pass, or it's more expensive than Game Pass. But I could see them. I'm trying to figure out if they would be able to compete for cloud or streaming because I don't think Sony has the server to do that. Microsoft has built their servers for a while.
Yeah, well, they bought the code and the programming and like the lines, so to speak, that'll make it where they can stream, but they just don't have the server speed yet and raw processing power.
Like Microsoft's been spending billions of dollars on Azure, so I don't think Sony's doing that. Evan, we had those Discord questions, right? Let me see.
Yep.
Do you want to read? How many do we have?
A lot.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead through them, and we'll get through them before we finish up.
Let's see. We got Omwixer. What is the thing you are looking most forward to next year? Can be game console announcement or anything really.
I'm looking forward to either the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Scarlet getting announced. I like new hardware, and that should be announced and probably shown off next year, leading into 2020. So I'm excited for that. Absolutely.
Day one, Spawn Wave Teardown.
Oh yeah, I'm on that. I'm on
Definitely, yeah. I'm leaning more towards Cyberpunk personally, but yep.
I'm extremely excited for Resident Evil 2 remake.
Son of a bitch, you stole mine.
Well, so to give that one to RGT, another one I'm almost as excited about actually is the guys who are making Yakuza are working on a new game that's coming out next year, and it was called Project Judge Eyes, and now we have the official name, and it's Judgment without the first E, so it's like Judgment. You play as a detective who's trying to track down a Yakuza serial killer who's carving out people's eyes, and no one will take the case, and it looks so good. They showed the first English trailer today. Oh my god, I'm so on board. I literally already talked to Sega, and I said, like, if you give me early access to the demo, I'll stream it. Give me the game whenever, I'll review it. Like, I want to play this so bad.
What about, for me, it's Resident Evil 2 with a special mention to Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Okay. Mortal Kombat's gonna be fun.
As long as Warner Brothers doesn't fuck up the loot boxes.
Oh yeah, because you know that the rumor said there were going to be loot boxes, and I forgot about that. Yeah. Oh man. What about Austin? Anything in particular next year you're looking forward to?
You know how Nintendo is. We got to wait for January. When
That's true.
January rolls around, we're going to find out about the games we want. Not caring about Yoshi, I don't think anyone is. I'm interested on what the new president is talking about as far as the evergreen titles, as far as the Mario titles and the Zelda titles, and the theory that they wanted a new Zelda game every single year to come out. I'm still really pushing for Skyward Sword HD, or maybe just porting over Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. Or possibly even a top-down. I doubt we're going to get anything on the 2DS, but whatever is coming Zelda-wise, I mean, we'd all love a new game, but at the same time, I think we'd be content with a remake of Skyward Sword or re-release or ports of the other two.
For a piece of software, because I said hardware,
I'll
say
Pokemon 8th Gen.
There you go. I'll say Demon X Machina. I want to see how that game turns out. I'm curious. Armored Core creators making that game. Yeah, I want to see how that turns out. Evan, what's the next question we had?
I guess this is in reference to the Smash Brothers fiasco that was happening before release. What is the panel's feeling on reviewing pirated copies of games?
Oh, that's a good question.
Reviewing who reviewed pirated copies?
Like because a lot of people had the game early, and remember people were streaming it and everything. So they're wondering, what if you get it early and you review?
And this kind of goes beyond Smash too. Like it's definitely happened prior anyway.
Oh yeah. My thing would be, as long as the game is finished and somebody plays enough hours of it, whatever. And the reason I say that is because an unfinished build of Gears of War Judgment leaked online like a month and a half or 2 months before that game came out. This is years and years ago at the time. And when that happened, it was a really big deal. And I remember like thinking, like, I hope nobody downloads this and tries to make videos about it, because it's not really Gears of War Judgment. Yeah.
Yeah, because we said Anthem have its NDA broken. So that was fun. That person lost all their Origin games.
Whenever someone reviews something, in addition to the embargo, there's very important notes. And I'm sure everyone here on the panel, we all know that when you receive your game, there's usually 1, 2, if it's a Nintendo game, 4 pages of things to not talk about because they're spoilers, and very specific things that they know that they're working on and everything else. In fact, I worked with Ubisoft for Fractured Butthole. And I was like, hey, so at this part of the game, it always crashes. And they're like, that's actually a day 1 patch. And I'm like, well, that's a good thing to know.
Do you remember Fractured Butthole? They also sent you that like 10-page guide, the full color PDF that no person was supposed to see. And it basically showed you like, okay, if you're having trouble with the magic system, like this is what you do. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
if you were stuck on something, they gave you a guide.
Yeah.
You guys are saying buttonhole way too like close to each other.
Bro.
It's fractured. It's South Park fractured but whole. Okay, so, like, you guys are saying it purposefully so close to. I'm just
Wait. Let's have the Aussie say it.
Butthole.
That's nice.
Done.
Yeah, it's tough now because like Smash, for example, was leaked out how early? Like people were playing pirated copies like 2 weeks early or something.
Weeks early. Yeah,
I wouldn't do that. I would not do that. I've got a hack Switch, but I would not put a pirated game on there. I think some people got their Switches bricked as well. I heard stories about that. So
yeah, some people did.
Well,
don't play pirated games on your Switch.
Word is they tracked that guy down in Mexico who uploaded the first copy. Yeah.
Oh man, they're not messing around.
Yeah,
that Ninja got him in Mexico. Oh my goodness!
Exactly. Apparently, he stole it from a warehouse.
Who do you think's worse about more on top of it? I guess I'd say Rockstar or Nintendo.
Well,
Nintendo ninjas. Have you ever heard of Rockstar ninjas?
I watched Rockstar sue a website for $1.5 million.
Yeah, that's
public. That's not
no. But Rockstar makes people disappear all the time, and they disappear so bad they can't even talk about it. Man, Rockstar's scary,
dude. Rockstar, like they'll like if a copy leaks out, Rockstar will go find the store that leaked it out. Like they'll go actively find it.
Yeah, they have like detectives.
It's crazy. Yeah, Rockstar does not mess around. Don't mess with Rockstar. They'll find you.
They're the type of people that have the mullets. And those guys come to your they have mullets. They don't have any other hairstyles. Business suits and mullets. So don't mess with a dude with the mullet. You know you're in trouble.
When you get hired, you grow one automatically.
Exactly.
To answer the specific question that was asked, if you're not given a game by a publisher, you should not review it because they give copies to the people who they trust their opinion to represent a game and give an honest review of.
Well, I'm going to say I buy Smash Brothers today. Are you telling me I can't review the game in 3 days?
No, you totally can.
So you're just saying for like pre-release coverage wise?
I'm saying that
for the pirated copies.
When the game leaked on Thanksgiving, if someone were to put out a review before the embargo time, it's clear that they don't know what the embargo is. They could give their opinions, but
so let me to counteract that. I heard from an inside source that they weren't going to be giving out any review codes for Sonic Forces. So I found a contact who would sell me a copy a week before it came out. And so I made like the first review ever for Sonic Forces because I knew it was going to suck. And yes, I reviewed a leaked copy, but I reviewed it and released my video when the game officially came out after I'd already beaten it and done all the really cringy side quests and everything. At that point, do you consider that moral? Because I didn't get it from Sega. Sega didn't give it to anybody.
Well, you waited until you bought it though, right?
Yeah, I bought it, but I bought it before release. I bought it a full week before release.
So that's still a different situation. I mean, pirating the game with the intentions of publishing a review.
Oh, okay.
Is that gray area because you're not following an embargo. You have access to the game. You can stream it as long as the company isn't pulling down your streams or your videos. Whereas these other people cannot even acknowledge at times that they have a review copy in hand. They cannot discuss the game at all. They have to hide their status online. And then you have pirated copies out there where people are flaunting it. They're showing it off. They're showing videos. And that's bad because now all these people who are doing it by the book, who are following the rules, are basically sitting on their thumb and they can't do a single thing.
There was that person who streamed a copy of Smash for like 2 hours or something. Before, and it was crazy.
The guy with 38 subscribers.
Yeah, like 8,000 people watching.
Well, and his YouTube account was his full legal name and a picture of his face.
like, oh man.
Spawn sent me a link, and I'm like, this guy has no idea what he's doing.
Well, at the end of the stream, there was just like 3 minutes of dead air, like on the main menu, and I was like, people are knocking on his door. I guarantee you, people are knocking on his door.
That was great. Evan, what's the next? How many questions do we have?
4 more.
No, jeez. All right, let's go through these pretty quick. What do we got?
All right, we got Casey. Looking back at Pokemon Let's Go, do we really think it was worth the full 60 having played it now?
100%.
Experienced it?
100%.
Actually, I
Fantastic
had fun with it. So yeah, I bought it for $100, right? How much was the How much was the Pokeball version?
Yeah, 100.
$100.
Yeah, I felt like I got my money's worth. I don't know. I had fun with it. I'm not
It was
playing
a-
anymore, but I had fun with it.
It was a different game, but a great game.
Yeah, I don't know. I had fun with it. I'm ready for next year now too because it got me back into Pokemon a bit. So I don't know all the stuff obviously or what I'm even doing half the time, but I'll still have fun with it. So yeah, I thought so. Yeah. You still don't have the game, do you, Evan?
No.
Oh, there you go. It's Christmas present. All right, we're good. What's the next question, Evan?
We got Hockman123. He said, "What did everyone think of the YouTube rewind?" I guess
It was terrible. Next question.
It was the worst one ever.
It was bad.
I didn't completely hate it, but it was really weird. Like
It
it was
wasn't,
just
like their other ones were more catchy. This one was not catchy at all.
well, I'd say the last 3, maybe 4 years now have not been catchy to me. This
2
one
years
was
ago,
weird.
2 years ago, I thought it was. I'm trying to think of what year that was. I think it was 2 years ago. 3 years ago? That one was better.
2 years ago was good.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, I want to get big enough to be on the YouTube Rewind.
Same.
And over the last year and a half, I'm like,
Well,
got invited to the Game Awards. I think that's better than being on the YouTube Rewind right now.
I think the big problem I have with it is the fact that they're not music videos anymore. They're really weird, like slideshow presentations of like joke, cameo creator. It's just kind of like, okay, this is not something you can just watch.
But they didn't
Bro,
even.
there was 5 minutes of an 8-second clip of Cardi B.
But there weren't even any like they didn't do anything on the boxing match that was like insane for YouTubers. to do.
yeah.
They didn't do anything on the Shane Dawson stuff. Like there's so much stuff they didn't do because it wasn't Fortnite.
Actually, that animator who had PewDiePie's chair, yes, it's the chair that I'm sitting in now because I'm 9 years old. That animator had the boxing match in the background of their animation.
Yeah, it's Jaden Animation, right?
But that should have been
Yeah.
that should have been something that was a much bigger deal.
That
Like, yeah,
person,
Rewind.
JD Animation, did like covered so much better stuff than the YouTube Rewind, and like that's all over Reddit.
It wasn't great. I see now why some of the bigger YouTubers just don't care to be in it anymore. Like it's whatever. I don't care. But I don't know. What you said? You said you didn't like it very much, MVG.
No, I thought it was trash.
Yeah, wasn't very good. What's the next question, Evan?
Let's see. We got a couple from Just a Hair. What is your favorite game ever that made you cry? So I'm guessing on like an emotional level.
FF7.
Yeah, I was gonna
Final
say
Fantasy
Final
15.
I was gonna say 7. Yeah, definitely. Back in the day when they actually killed off your character. Or no, wait, no. The end of Crisis Core.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh god.
Yes.
Fire Emblem Awakening is weird for me, but it's different reasons. But Fire Emblem Awakening.
I've never cried at a video game.
It was
No,
It was
they just
Not
mean,
even when
like,
you booted up WWE for the first time on your
No,
Switch?
they just mean like actual emotional feeling, Sean, not necessarily cried.
I thought they said cried though.
But
was
you
the-
know what
He
they're
would
saying.
cry, but like any
You get what they're
emotional
saying,
thing.
yeah.
It was
Anger with WWE 2K.
Sean, why the hell do you eat food with the front of your mouth? You chew like a caveman. What is going on, man?
So let's talk about what happened here.
Oh god.
You had a super chat as well for $1.
Yep, go ahead. It said press F in the chat for Sean's.
I ordered 3 fucking grilled ranch snackers and 1 cheeseburger from McDonald's. I get no ranch on the grilled snackers, and
What
I get
the hell?
latte sauce because what it ends up being is a cheap ass taco because you have grilled chicken, you have lettuce, and you have cheese on it. So it's really good. The Uber guy comes and he's like, "Hey," I'm like, "Hi." So I reach in for my food and he's like, "Oh, they were out of grilled chicken, so they're going to refund your card." So instead of getting 3 grilled chicken snackers and a cheeseburger, I got a single cheese fucking burger.
They didn't call you to like check.
No!
So now you got to order again and make him drive it back to you, Sean.
I'm not ordering shit else again because you had to pay a delivery fee. So
How much is delivery fee for that?
It's 3, right?
Yeah, $2-3, something like that.
Yeah.
And when you get a bunch of food, it's not a big deal. It's freaking freezing outside. I'd rather just do that. But for one cheeseburger, no, unacceptable.
How much did that one cheeseburger cost you? $5?
No, 3.
It's not
But
like
you
the
just said
dollar
the delivery fee is $3.
Oh, so 4. Yeah,
Yeah, aren't the cheeseburgers like 89 cents?
they're $1.
Well, no, the hamburger is 89 cents. I believe
Yeah.
the cheeseburger is $1.19.
I wouldn't know.
Just $1.
Oh man, I haven't been to McDonald's in so long. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Oh, yeah, I get their fries, but I can't eat anything else.
Oh man, that's great.
But it's all about the nugs.
What were we? Oh yeah, we were talking about that. What's the next question, Evan?
Did anyone watch the Kind of Funny Games showcase?
Yeah.
What'd you think of the games they showed? off?
I missed it, but I do like to hear that there is a physical copy of Windjammers coming from Lin Run Games in 2 weeks, and that the Messenger is getting free DLC.
It was pretty alright. It was really well put together. I'll be honest, I didn't care for a lot of the games because they're just really weird, random, super indie games. But man, was it well put together. Lots of little skits and cutaways and like people showing up in like suits talking about the art of video games. So it was nice. It was very, very loved. I like it.
I watched the highlights.
Yeah.
I thought they did a good job for like not being like IGN or the Game Awards or one of those outlets. I thought they did a really good job with it.
Well, they
Are
set it
basically IGN, a little mini.
Well,
IGN.
they
Yeah.
record out of like a house, right?
Well, no, now they have a full studio. But
okay.
the thing is, they set this up in 4 months. So
What is
that's
this that we're talking about?
Kind of Funny Games showcase? They did their own like mini E3 today.
I like it. I think it's good for the developers. I think it's good, like, to have it after the Game Awards. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of, what they do there, but I do appreciate what they're doing. Like, getting, because a lot of these developers were hyped, to get their games showcased like this, like they didn't get their games at the, at the Game Awards. So it's good that they put together this show.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
I just mean because they're like it's a smaller group of people at like IGN. How many people work at IGN? You have all
hundreds.
700.
Tons. Yeah.
Whereas it's like a smaller group of people. So I thought for their size, they did a good job.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah,
did a great job. They did a great job.
Although they're not getting the recognition. They only got 23K views.
Well, it had 23,000 live concurrent viewers, and I guarantee you those people were donating and stuff. And it was also just about building clout. I guarantee you their daily subs today was crazy.
I didn't realize it was a live thing.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're set though. I mean, Greg Miller and those guys, they've got plenty of.
They get like $20,000 a month on Patreon. So it's like it's not about the views.
I think it's more. I think it's more than
They
that.
average 13 to 50 subs a day, and today they got 300.
There you go. Good for
10
them.
times their normal amount.
Good for them.
Yeah.
And is that the last question, Evan?
I guess real quick, does anyone have a review or plan on reviewing Taiko no Tatsujin or Dust of Elysian Tale?
I played Dust forever ago on the PC and I liked it. You should buy it. But the other one, I that's the drum game, right?
The drum and fun game. Yep.
Taiko Drum Master.
I don't think I'm gonna review. I'm not a big rhythm game fan.
Donkey Kong Jungle Blast?
Donkey Konga. No, I'm not a big rhythm game person, so I don't think I'll review the drumming game.
Does anybody know? Like, because I still haven't gotten my Dust Elysian Tale from Limited Run Games. I guess they're shipping it. I don't know when they're shipping it, but I still haven't got it. I ordered mine, but I don't know when it's coming. So
Okay. Yeah, it's a good. I played it. It was on Steam a while ago, so I played it and I liked it a lot. It was a good game.
I did the 360 port. I like it. And the fun thing about Dust is it was made by one dude.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive too. The game and everything. So it was pretty cool. Is that the last question, Evan?
Yep, that is it.
Okay, and this is a question from Ziljan, and I guess we'll end on this. This is a question for the panel. Where do you separate your morals and know what will get you clicks on YouTube?
My thing.
That's a hard fucking
It's a
question.
heavy question. At,
So my thing
11
is
o'clock at night.
that's my thing is I think about that a lot. That's a question that rides with me a lot. And my thing is I want views pay my bills, and I'm honest, I want people to click on my content, but I want to make something that is going to entertain and inform. I will never try and make a video that is just for views. I will never ever just, if I see 800 people do a video that's called like why the Nintendo Switch made me nut, I'm not going to make my own video of that. Instead, I'll be like, let's talk about the Switch like market numbers. I always want to have an angle. So yeah,
You've been feeling real frisky this SpawnCast, haven't you?
it's been a long week.
I
No November is still in my mind.
I guess it depends also on kind of the I guess the niche that you're in.
I mean, my thing is, if it's about video games, I mean, what's it matter? You know what I'm saying? As long as something, I'm not going to sit there and talk, politics. If, something political is hot, I'm not going to talk about something that's sort of outside of my realm. I'm not going to talk about, people dying or something like that. Or I don't know, maybe I would, depends on the context. But, at the end of the day, it's sort of like news. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us do news related stuff. So if you watch a news channel on television, they talk about mostly negative things, but it's pretty much anything goes that's relevant to the news. I think as long as it's relevant to the channel, I won't talk about shit. I don't like people kept wanting me to talk about the Epic Store versus the whatchamacallit Steam. And it's like I can't talk about that because I don't PC
for that one moment of whatchamacallit. That's why.
Yeah, like that's not my world. I'm not gonna sit here and try to act like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. The main thing is when I make a video, I have to know what I'm talking about, at least to some degree, to satisfy myself. If I start filming a video and I fuck up like 4 or 5 times while I'm filming it, might not seem like a lot to some people, but my style of video, like that's just how I work. If I fuck up 4 or 5 times, I'll scratch the whole video because obviously I don't know what I'm talking about well enough to keep going.
Yeah. I actually day one I recorded the same video that everyone else recorded about Smash on the 3 ways to unlock characters. And like I'm sitting down, I'm going through the editing. I was actually editing during the Game Awards, and like I didn't really have any passion about it or anything. And then the next morning I woke up early, I was doing some research, and then I read about the distance thing, and then I tried out the distance thing and it worked. And then I just scrapped the old project because that was just for very vague information, just so it's kind of out there essentially for the clicks, like everyone else did, like IGN did, like Polygon did. And then I read about something that actually worked, and I was like, oh shit, I need to tell people about this because it's better than what they know. And at that point, your reputation of being a clickbaiter or a reputation of not being a clickbaiter is how serious people take you.
That's a good point. Also, I think people who say clickbait to everything probably didn't watch YouTube in like 2008 and 2009.
Well, I genuinely think that a lot of people don't know what clickbait means, like the term.
Yeah.
Anymore.
If you have an image and then you circle something really small, put a big red arrow and say LOL WTF, chances are you're clickbaiting.
Did you throw an emoji in there? Or
tits.
Did you deep fry it?
Dude, there are YouTube channels that I won't call out, but they will upload like 3 versions of every video where they like do a video. Literally, they'll be like, okay, it's literally like, here's how you beat this boss in Red Dead Redemption. And one of the titles would be like, how to epically own this boss uncut. And then like how to beat this boss, no commentary. And then how to beat this boss PS4, Xbox One. And it's the exact same video 3 times. And they upload it with a different thumbnail just so they can trick people into getting triple the views. And these are huge channels sometimes with millions of subs.
Well, some of
that's trill clickbait right there.
Some of the biggest channels that people watch now started out like years ago were doing ridiculous clickbaits, like stuff like images of stuff that weren't in the video.
Death Auto 6 and all that crap.
What about
the videos?
There's a clickbait savage, Will Smith.
I've never heard that name.
Oh
yeah. Sorry, the actor.
No, like
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Hi guys, I haven't had enough Red Bull today. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, there was like Philip DeFranco, Keith Neistat back in like 2009, 2010. They did it badly.
Dude,
So
Philip
it's
DeFranco would literally have like a girl doing this in the thumbnail, and it'd be like, "She what?" And then you watch it, it's like, "Hello guys, we need to talk about the massacre on the beach." It's like, whoa.
Yeah, people forgot about that, and they've changed a bit, but people forgot about how it used to be. So it's very different. I think there's a massive difference between a compelling headline and just outright lying and clickbaiting. So
there is PewDiePie has made clickbait in art.
Yeah. He does it as a joke, obviously. So,
but yeah, he makes fun of himself, making fun of how bad the clickbait was.
Yes. So I guess is that it, Evan? We're done with the questions. Everything's good?
Yep, everything seems done unless you got some more.
One person that doesn't really need to worry about clickbait is Modern Vintage Gamer, because he does some straightforward, pretty good work on all things emulation and hardware based. Let him know what was your most recent project.
Well, obviously, I'm kind of deep diving into the PlayStation Classic like everyone else is right now. But before that, dabbling with Nintendo Switch overclocking stuff. So there's in the homebrew scene, there's some new updates where you can actually overclock the Switch to better CPU speeds, and I'm kind of messing around with that to see how it affects games and loading screens and things like that, as well as just homebrew stuff. So it's pretty cool playing around with that stuff. I don't know if it'll ever get a normal release, I would say, but it's pretty cool to see it all kind of working.
Let me ask you this real quick in very vague, I guess, question, since I'm somewhat related to Nintendo with the ambassadorship. Is it a cool idea to get a Switch and hack it for the homebrew scene now because it's taken off enough?
I would say to ask me again next year around May or June, because it's really taking off now, but there is still a lot of things kind of in the pipeline right now.
Okay. Because my Switch right now is the one I have here is still old enough to be
I mean, for me, once they start getting Dreamcast and GameCube running on that thing, that's when I'll say get your Switch hacked, boys, because that's the time to do it. Right now, Nintendo 64 emulation's working pretty well, and things like that. PlayStation 1 is running very well, but the next level stuff, the Dreamcast and the GameCube stuff, is still up in the air.
Because I'm looking at this point. My timeline is to get the Metroid Prime 4 Special Edition Switch, and then have this one kind of become the homebrew station at some point in the distant future. So,
and I mean, I have two Switches. I have my hacked Switch, which is what I bash around on with homebrew, and then I have just the regular one.
Okay. Cool.
I have my hacked Switch, which this Switch 8-10 years from now, it's going to replace what my Wii currently is, which is just my ROM machine. So I can play anything I want on my Wii, but 2, 3, 5 years from now, I'm going to be able to have that, but in portable mode anywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
and then
your idea of overclocking the Switch, and then once you're able to, like, if in the hacking scene, once you can unlock the frame rate in some games, that reminds me of like the Citra emulator when you're playing Pokemon above 60 FPS, even though it's only 30 double scaled. But like once you start going above that, it makes the game faster.
Well, I think it's not necessarily overclocking or unlocking the frame rate. I think it's smoothing out the frames versus, you know what I mean? So anything that's dropping below 30 or below 60, it will smooth those frames out. And I think it's also a look into the future, because we've heard stories about a revision of the Switch coming out that has more performance or more processing power. Potentially this could be something that would match a Switch of that caliber.
That would be interesting. Because when I did the overheating for the Switch, it actually had a pretty good amount of space at the roof, so it has some room for thermals being pumped up a bit.
For sure. I mean, it's a 1 gigahertz processor, and the Tegra, the NVIDIA Shield, has a 2 gigahertz processor, and it's exactly the same CPU. So Nintendo are underclocking it.
Interesting. That'd be cool to see.
MVG, you got some videos with some views on here, man.
He does. I'll tell you, he does. You do one video a week, right? And they're well produced and everything. I would check him out, Austin, if you're interested in like.
I already subbed to him.
Oh, okay. So if you're interested in some of the hardware stuff and everything, like he just did his NVIDIA Shield TV, and I'm probably just gonna go buy one now.
That thing is freaking awesome.
I wanted to open it up and check it out anyway, like inside, but your video was pretty good on it. So
even that surprised me that you could run GameCube games on that. I was playing.
I was about to say the Shield. That's what they had like Twilight Princess on in China.
In China, yeah. Same system.
Yeah, so I might go get one of those just to open it up and check it out anyway. Drop some liquid metal on there, Actually, is that heatsink aluminum or not?
All right, Linus.
Yeah,
it is. I can't do that.
Yeah, it is.
It's not copper to dye. It's like aluminum to dye.
I think so.
All right, that's too bad. All right, cool. That's our show for tonight. Though, let me go around here. You guys just heard Modern Vintage Gamer just now on the microphone. You guys want to check him out? Definitely. What do you do on your channel, just to let everyone know as your outro?
I do basically a lot of hacking type stuff, a lot of tinkering, emulation type stuff, tearing down systems and also tell stories about the history of consoles and things like the Xbox and the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 from a hacking perspective, because I think it's important to remember, when those systems were modded and how it all went down to do those things. So right now I'm kind of deep diving into the PlayStation Classic. So I've actually got a video coming up Monday on that one. So stay tuned.
I watched that. I was really interested in your Xbox one because that was exactly around the time where I was really getting into modding Xboxes. Then you said you did a lot of the work on the emulators, and it's like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you guys want to go check that one out. Definitely the one about the original Xbox. That one was really cool. Let me go here to Austin. Thanks for joining us tonight. Where can they find you, man?
Well, thank you for having me. I know sometimes your chat they'd like to jump on me.
Sometimes, not always. They seem to like you tonight, man.
I'm a tips and tricks channel for AAA games, especially Zelda, Pokemon, things like that. I'm done.
Okay, easy enough. Enough.
Oh, and Smash. I'm doing Smash coverage. So tips and tricks on Smash, not so much like competitive stuff, but like casual stuff.
Let me go to Nate here. You made it through the podcast after the whole Metroid debacle, so everything's good.
That's true.
The good thing. See, the good thing about that I was thinking about. I was like, the game's coming eventually. It's not like you promised something insane, or we were talking about something insane.
I promised people a PlayStation 4 portable was being a game show, and nothing happened.
I stayed up till 3 a.m. for that, but go on.
And the device still doesn't exist.
But like Trilogy's coming next year, so it's a shame. We were pretty confident it was going to be at the Game Awards. A lot of people are coming to the Game Awards, but look forward to it that way.
IGN thought it was going to be at the Game Awards.
Yeah, they're unnamed people were thinking it was going to be at the Game Awards, so a lot of people did. So, but it does exist.
Just us. I mean, other places corroborated the information and was saying it's going to be there.
Yeah, so at least look forward to it. It's next year, release next year. So
yeah, I mean, it should still be early next year unless something radical happened.
Yes, Nate, you're getting close to 10,000 subs, right?
I am 397 shy,
and that's when you can start applying for the Nintendo ambassadorship. So make sure you check out Nate Direct Feed Games. You've been doing some direct feed capture for your portable unit as well, because you have the portable capture unit. So definitely check them out. I know we have what was it, Everspace coming out? Is that what it was?
Yeah, we got Everspace. I'll have a docked, undocked comparison video of that next week when the embargo lifts. I got the Princess Battle Madeline footage coming out on the 13th.
Yeah, that got pushed back. Yeah, that was weird. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, got a lot of stuff actually coming over the next 2 weeks.
Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Then OJ, where can they find you, man?
Just right here on YouTube and also on Twitter. You can find me at Player Essence. Going to be doing a lot of Smash Brothers coverage. Road to Elite Smash. I'm going to have all those videos up. I hit that today, so I got all the videos of me going over that and talking about Smash Brothers a lot this upcoming week. We're going to be doing some more RPG stuff, best RPGs for the year. Got a countdown video for that, so that's going to be pretty cool. And we're going to be giving away multiple copies of Smash Brothers this week as well. We got a lot of copies. We're going to be giving those away, so you can head over to the streams and all that. And I'll put my whatever in the my channel page. But yeah, if you like
channels in.
Yeah, if you like Smash Brothers and you like Nintendo content, action RPG stuff like that, you got the channel. It's pretty cool.
Cool. And then Max, where can they find you, man?
YouTube.com/Dreamcast guy. I actually just did a big top 10 on the worst games of the year, and yes, Sea of Thieves made it along with Fallout 76. So if you want to see some stuff like that, check it out. I got a lot of cool stuff coming up this next week, but one thing I do want to do is, OJ, I'm officially challenging you. The next time you are streaming some Smash Brothers and you're taking on competitors, I want you to DM me. I actually want to try and fight you. I'll lose, but I'm actually very curious how well I'll do.
I think you'll do okay, man. To be honest, I'm not that great in the game at this point. I'm still, training up. I'm not as like Smash 4. I'm much better in Smash 4, but that's because we've had years to play it. So I'm actually not that great. I was losing to some of my viewers. But yeah, I'd be down. Huh?
I've seen him stream. I can verify.
I lost the King K rule because there's just some matchups that King K rules just good.
Well, yeah, so, and we're having to learn the new meta. Yeah, dude, I'm great with Adult Link and not great with anybody else.
I'll definitely I'll DM you next time.
Okay. Well, there's 8 of us. We can all play.
We talked about that. Yeah, Spawnway was talking about doing a video or something maybe where we
Set
all of
something
us
up where we
fight
do a
each other.
stream or something for fun, maybe for charity or something.
Yeah.
I'm down.
We can do something like that. That'd be fun.
Down.
And then Sean, I give you a minute to cool down.
Man, these motherfuckers on the internet don't forget shit.
Yeah,
What'd you
Stripper
do?
videos, man.
Dude, they're talking about.
Ripper for a
We're
week.
talking about that one time that you were on World Star.
First off, this was nearly 5 years ago now. On not even on my channel, it was on Nintendo Enthusiast. I did not hire a stripper. She was a friend. We had a little something going on. I needed views because I was on a channel.
What was that question about the moral thing again?
No, but listen. I was on a channel with Jason, and me and Jason didn't really get along at the time. It was our channel, and Jason had a $2,000 fucking camera, a lighting rig. He was filming at ANC Games in Toronto. I literally had a webcam and my little shitty laptop. I had no lighting. I had nothing. So I was like, "Fuck, how am I going to get views on the same?" Because we were kind of in a competition. So I was like, all right. And Peter Molyneux, I'll never forget this. Peter Molyneux had come out with a statement saying that the Wii U was not a sexy system. So the girl was hanging out my house, and I was like, would you be willing to like do a video clip with me? Because
She was like, I don't normally do stuff on camera.
I'm sure she did.
She looked very natural, my boy. When I watched her right now. She looked like she was natural dance moves there. You know?
Yeah, like, she was down. We were just hanging out, and she was down. So we filmed that shot and put it up.
So anything else? Sorry, anything else happened that you want to tell us about, Sean, when you guys were filming, or anything else? Or
This was what channel was this?
It was on Nintendo Enthusiast.
Anything else happened, dude? Was there anything else that happened? You want to tell us anything else, or is that it?
I mean, we were pretty good friends for a while, and then
what else? Okay, you guys were friends, and and
That sex tape is getting leaked.
Where can they?
I want it.
World Star.
I will pay you for it, RGT. Give me that tape, bro.
Where can they find you, Sean? That's what we were talking about before.
on the dumpster of the internet at RGT.
Freecams.com,
Freecams.com, Pornhub.com, World Star. Who knows where I'll pop up next.
Man. Thanks to the guests tonight with Austin and MVG. It kind of went a little longer, but that's just because the podcast was all over the place for a while.
We have a fun time here. We're a bunch of guys hanging out, talking about stuff.
Yeah, so thanks for hanging out for a half hour over. We appreciate
it. Was awesome. Thank you, guys.
I feel like every time I'm here, we go over.
Yeah. Last time we were out at like almost exactly 11. This time it was like a half hour longer. So
didn't we have like nobody here last time?
Maybe. No. Did we?
I guess not last time. It was
I definitely have to go. Right, my roommates would text me for 30 minutes to go eat.
Okay,
we were so close to closing.
We're getting right. Yeah. Thanks, guys, for stopping by and everything. We'll see you guys next weekend, 9 p.m. Eastern time.